all reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
Welcome to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston. Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane. Here are Peter and Anthony with Sports 56 Mornings.
Welcome in, everybody, to an all-new Sports 56 Mornings. My name is Peter Edmiston, alongside, come on now, you can't be blasphemous. That's blasphemy. Jonas Christ. That's blasphemy. I don't get into that. Anthony Blasphemer Sane here on the program. The blasphemer himself.
Yeah, had the people stirred
And, of course, you have Zach, who is not at all a blasphemer, who's in tight with God.
Right. As opposed to me, who's not, right?
Yeah. Saying not so much. Saying's kind of on the outs this morning.
How dare I deface an Anglo-Saxon image of a
correct. That's correct.
Obviously, someone who's not Anglo-Saxon.
Like, you didn't offend me, but I saw the picture. I just kind of shook my head. I'm like, what did I just?
Here's the thing. As a Christian, I'm more offended by that image of the God-man than I am of anything that someone does to deface it.
Well, I don't think anyone knows what you. I'm not sure anyone knows what you're talking about. But
well,
now you have to explain. You have to explain to them what it is that you're talking about exactly. But welcome in, everybody. We'll get to our discussion of blasphemy and the
end times. We didn't get our end times update.
The Anglo-Saxification of Middle Eastern figures,
right? Exactly.
All that later on in the program, if you want. For now, we'll say good morning to you on a overcast, and it's definitely chilly out there, but it's not like super cold. It'll be super cold later on this week. That will certainly be true, and it's going to only get colder this week. It's not getting any warmer. High to be mid 40s ish. So again. Colder than it was yesterday, but not frigid yet. But I'm warning you. By the end of the week, it's going to be possibly stupid cold. And stupid cold is when it's in the 20s and 10s. Mm-hmm. That's when it's like, yeah, it's just dumb. I don't want to do anything outside or even look at being outside. So that's coming. Get all your outside activities done. Take care of your plants. That's what they always tell me that. Keep an eye on those pets and those plants that you've got out there, or something. I don't know. I'm not sure what you're supposed to do with them at this point. They're probably all dead by now. But if they're not, keep them alive. That's what I always say. Today on the show, woo man, we're gonna talk about the old Grizzlies, and we gotta have kind of a like a meeting that we had about the Tigers a few weeks ago. We're gonna have to have kind of a similar meeting about the old Grizzlies here pretty soon. They just kind of, well, there's really no other way to say this, and I apologize in advance for my inelegant language, but they pooped themselves at the end of this game, and the old brown trousers, as I like to say, and that's what happened, and it was ugly, like in real life. If you had done that in real life, it would have been very ugly. Well, it was very ugly in a metaphorical sense last night. At the end of the game. If you want to talk about it, and we're going to give you some chance to really dive in on this stuff, you can do that at 67129 on the First Bank text line, 67129 on the First Bank text line. All of that goes right here in the Family Leisure Studios, so we'd love to hear from you via text. And I use the word hear there. Obviously, it's not, we're not hearing from you via text, but You know what I'm saying. Now, we can hear from you literally over the First Bank phone lines. If you want to dial up, we have some time for your phone calls today, 360-8255. Normally, we would talk to Coach JJ, our pal Jermaine Johnson, assistant coach of the University of Memphis men's basketball team, but they have a practice schedule that they kind of changed up a little bit.
Oh,
did a
yeah,
little
it's
morning
go
practice.
time, man. It's go time.
So,
They got time to be
so
talking on a
that's-
radio show.
So that, well, sure they do, just not a morning show.
Right.
That practice schedule time messes up our discussion with Coach JJ, so we will attempt to do that later on in the week, but we won't be able to do it today, unfortunately. So, but we will talk a little bit about the Tigers and what they are getting themselves in for. As this season, it just kind of slowly but surely is making its way back to respectability and maybe even a little better than that for the Tigers. They've got a very interesting one coming up on Thursday against Cincinnati, and then the real big one against Houston over the weekend on Valentine's Day. That's the one that's okay. Now we're starting to now we're starting to get somewhere. So they're cranking things up just a little bit. Now we'll talk about that coming up later on in the show. Also, we'll talk about the rest of the college basketball world. We'll talk about the fallout from Super Bowl 55. We will get into a lot of those things as well, and a bunch of news from the NBA that is not necessarily Grizzly related. So all of that is coming up here on the program today. First of all, Zach, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Zach, how are you?
I'm all right. I've been thinking about vacations the last couple of days.
Where you going, Zach?
I don't know. I just need to go somewhere. I just want to go somewhere. Like
Peter,
I mean,
you
the
can see how you
beach,
looking, man. You looking like, all right,
like-
where we going with this one, Zach?
nowhere.
I'm just
It's just
kind of thinking about that.
I'm like the last month or so. I've been thinking about vacationing for the longest.
Where you trying to go?
Okay.
I don't. I'm still trying to figure that out. I haven't narrowed it down just yet, but I have convinced myself that I need a vacation. I need to leave Memphis.
Well, my brother's got a beach house in Miami Beach, so hit me up, man. Let you get down there and
Oh yeah.
Minister. Share the gospel
Right.
with some of the.
A lot of people down there
Yeah.
need the gospel more than ever, really. Well, I wish you luck finding your perfect vacation spot. Miami's nice. Go down there, enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'd love to. I don't know when that's going to happen, but
Yeah, we're in different times, you know.
the times are different. I don't know when they'll ever be
And that's my
quite like it
struggle
was,
right
but-
now, because it's like we're in the middle of COVID, and so I don't want to get up and
Mm-hmm.
go, but I would love to go somewhere right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Once I
especially-
get this second dose in my veins, I'm gonna be getting on down. So
It's beautiful, man. You got hope in your veins.
and rolling,
Gotta
got
Dope,
Moderna in your veins,
dope out. Got to get
Moderna in your veins, and hope in your brains, and Moderna
Hope in your brain.
veins. There you go.
You'll never get anywhere and not taking the vaccine.
Not wearing a mask. Never. Tell somebody that.
Never.
Tell somebody this. Zach.
Tell somebody. All right,
Somebody.
so somebody.
Man, let's talk about this
What's-
crap game, man. Good God. Let's go get this out the
We're
way.
trying not to, man. Come on. I don't know if you noticed or not. We're trying not to talk about this game from last night. It's rough. It's rough out there at the Family Leisure Studios. Hey, haven't you thought about getting that swim spa yet? Why don't you get that swim spa? That'd make you feel better after last night, or maybe a hot tub. You'll jump out in the hot tub. It's time for that early bird pool special. If you've not gotten that outdoor pool, I'd encourage you to go ahead and take care of that business right about now, so the folks at Family Leisure can get that installed for you as soon as the weather starts to get a little bit warmer and they start doing that. Jump in the front of the line, Family Leisure. 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40. Now, do I have to? No, I still got time in this segment. Okay, let me think. What else can we? How can we vamp here to not talk about the Grizzlies? All right, Zane. I guess we got to do it, right? Let's go ahead and do
Yeah,
it.
let's go ahead and hop in.
Yuta Watanabe had 7 rebounds last night.
Mm-hmm. Yuta looking like he's still with us, keeping the game out of reach for his team.
I don't know if that's true. Uta's
terrible.
fine.
Uta's terrible, just like John Conchar is terrible. Y'all
Uta
doing
was
the
a-
same thing.
Uta
Y'all
was a
did
plus.
The same thing with Uta.
No, Uta
He's
was
terrible. He's terrible.
No.
So is John Conchar.
Hey man, he played 16 minutes. He played 16 minutes last night. He was a plus 12.
No, great.
That was a good. He was out there for good stuff.
Great.
Yeah, John Moran a -9 out there.
Yeah, looking horrible.
Ipso facto, Uta Watanabe better than John Moran. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
So,
according to plus minus. No, I'm
Unfortunately, that is,
I'm taking the gloves off on dudes who don't need to be in the league, bro. Like I'm done. I'm done evaluating dudes.
that's a little harsh on Ja, man. He's had a little rough run, but I mean, there's no need for that.
Yeah, my bad.
Ja, you're about to get called out
Yeah.
in a post game.
Or there's somebody
not
saying
careful.
I need to be in the G League. Like, nah, that was Peter Emerson. That was Peter Emerson that said that.
I heard Anthony Sane said, I'm taking the gloves off on dudes who don't need to be in the league.
I have no issue with nothing that John's doing. Like, nothing. There's nothing about this game right now that I'm frustrated about. Nothing. The stuff that everybody else is saying, I'm like, it is what it is. He'll get there. But some of this other stuff,
you grade Ja on a curve though. That's
because
what you
he's
do.
a budding superstar. That
you
explains
grade Ja.
my
But that's what
curve.
I'm saying. That doesn't mean you can't. That doesn't mean you can't be critical when times are needed to be critical.
I'll say what he needs to work on, but I'm also certain that those things will happen. He'll be fine.
I agree. I think that's true in most cases of this with the Grizzlies.
He's
you can say
a
what they need
budding
to work on.
superstar. We've never had one of those. I don't look at them like I look at the Mike Conleys of the world or the John Conchars or the Grayson Allens.
Why are you bringing Mike Conley up with those guys? Those are different levels of guys.
Well, I thought you mean Mike Conley up with Ja, which is also a different level of guy.
No. There's Mike Conley is not a John Conchar. There's levels to this game. Even if you think Ja's above Mike Conley, which is true talent wise, Mike Conley is definitely above.
Let's hop into this game
by a mile.
Let's hop into this game from last night, man. All
right.
I'm frustrated over here.
Okay, go ahead and do it.
If we're taking somebody, you need to let me know. I said this about a month ago when we were looking like the same team. I don't care what anybody says. If they're not tanking, they're conditioning their losses. If that makes sense.
Why you say that?
Because if JV is having a monster game like he was having.
Well, hold on. Let me set the scene. Let me set the scene first.
That man finally got his 20 rebound game. But go ahead.
So here we go. Raptors beat the Grizzlies last night, 128-113. For those that didn't see it, it was pretty ugly. The Grizzlies were, I'm not going to say in control, but they were fine in the game. It was a very up-tempo, high-scoring offensive game for the most part. And then the Grizzlies just got their water turned off in what was a ludicrous 45-13 run that extended in the last 15 minutes of the game. Basically from when Nick Nurse got ejected for his second technical foul after complaining about what he thought was Jonas Valanciunas walking, which Jonas did walk, and an elbow that he put on Fred VanVleet that Nurse thought was not legal. Nurse got kicked out. As soon as that happened, for whatever reason, the Grizzlies seemed to take their foot significantly off the gas of this game and started playing with the game and doing some real dumb stuff, coaches and players alike. And from that point on, the Raptors were unstoppable. 45-13, they outscored the Grizzlies in the final 15 minutes, which sounds like I'm making that up, but I'm not. That's 32 points that they outscored them in the last 15 minutes and ran away with the game, 128-113. You mentioned Jonas Valanciunas, 20-20, third 2020 game, all with the Grizzlies, 27-20, had 18-14 at the half. So kind of a subdued second half for Jonas, but a huge first. Ja Morant, 18 points, 9 assists, but 5 of 17 shooting the ball. Dylan Brooks, 8 of 20. Shooting is probably his best night in a while, and still shot 40%. 22 points for Dylan on those 20 shots. Desmond Bane jumped into the starting lineup last night and did just fine. Although struggled a little bit at the end of the game, but he did exactly what you would expect a rookie shooter to do, which was he shot pretty well. 5 of 11, 3 of 7 from 3, 15 points for Kyle Anderson. Bench, not good. They've been very good for a while, but they were not good. Scored just 18 points total. Maybe Bane coming off the bench has affected the rest of the bench. I don't know. So that's the setup for the game. That's just the general story about what happened last night. Now, Anthony Sane, have at it.
I'm done, man. I said what I had to say. If they tanking, send a memo out.
So you think that the 45-13 run at the end of the game was an intentional tank situation?
I don't agree with what you're saying. You're saying that the Grizzlies didn't have control of the game. They very much had control of the game. You were up double digits late in the third quarter. Their coach just got kicked out of the game. You were very much in control of the game. And then the hinges came off. Because you bring out a lineup with Tyus Jones, Kyle Anderson, Grayson Allen, John Conchar, and Xavier Tillman. And expected to beat a team that's coming for you in the middle of them, like in a run. That's the lineup you put out on the court. So either Taylor Jenkins is a horrible coach or that was by design. Which one you want me to believe? Because I don't think there's anything in the middle. And yes, I'm frustrated. I'm really ticked off because that game yesterday made me mad. Didn't make any sense at all. Like you don't. A team isn't coming back on you, and you put out probably the worst lineup you can put out on the court against a team that's blitzing you. Then you come back in the fourth quarter with that same lineup.
Well, the thing that was interesting. I disagree. Like I said, I'm not going to.
No, I'm sorry. They called a timeout and then came back with the same lineup.
It doesn't really like. To me, it doesn't really matter. Like if you look at the win probability.
What do you mean it don't matter?
No. I'm saying I disagree with your assessment of the game was never. It was only a double-digit game that one moment.
With their coach kicked out of the game, all the momentum going your way.
No, you know how coach kick out can go either way. Coach kick out can kick momentum back in the other direction. But they were never it was between like 5 and 10 points. It wasn't like 30 or something crazy. But no, I totally agree with you about the lineups. And I tweeted out last night. It's very frustrating, and I don't really understand it. And Taylor Jenkins does it, and a lot of coaches do it. It's not just him. It seems like it's a thing where you treat the last 2 or 3 minutes of the third quarter and the first 3 or 4 minutes of the fourth quarter as this like experimental, like I'm going to throw some bench lineups out there, and we'll see what happens, and then we'll be good by the time that first media timeout in the fourth quarter. We'll kind of get it all squared away, and we'll go back with our real lineups. Playing with the game is not cool. Like the Grizzlies definitely played with the game. Whether they got overconfident because Nick Nurse got kicked out and all the momentum was in their direction, or whether they just decided we're going to kind of see if we can get away with this Conchar lineup, and we're going to try to throw Conchar and Allen out there and all this, and it just
stupid.
You have Tyus Jones, John Conchar, Grayson Allen, Kyle Anderson, and Xavier Tillman. What is that lineup? What are you? What is the point of that lineup? Man? What did you think was going to happen? There's nothing good that can come from that lineup. That's not a good offensive or defensive lineup.
And I'm saying I refuse to believe that Taylor Jenkins is that bad of a coach. That he thought that lineup was going to do something.
I don't know. I think judging by his reaction, I think he did. I asked about that whole situation, and
you got the audio of it, Zach. I was about to make my re-debut last night. And I was like,
I asked about what I asked about specifically was Ja Morant being blitzed by those guys.
Mm-hmm.
That was the specific thing. But he was in no mood. I got my question, by the way.
I'm in no mood.
First question out of the gate was, I was like, what do you guys when teams are now starting to blitz Ja? Because if you notice in the fourth quarter, Toronto basically was like, we're not letting Ja beat us. So y'all, we'll see who else you got out here. But as soon as – and they kept bringing that second big up to set a screen or dribble handoff for Ja, and that allowed his guy to get in the action, and then they would just blitz off of that. That ain't going to work. And clearly, to get the ball out of Ja's hands, it forced turnovers, bad shots, bad flow. And Taylor Jenkins was terse after the game. The reason I bring this up, Shane, is because if this had been part of the plan, I think Jenkins would have been pretty sanguine or whatever. But he was not happy after the game, and
so maybe he's just terrible.
And my question, which is interesting, notably, I think, got scrubbed from the official Grizzly transcript of the press conference.
Oh, of course it did.
If you see the official transcript or you see the quote sheet, you will not see my question nor his answer.
Of course it did.
So I thought that was interesting, an interesting omission from the
controlling the narrative there.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, so,
And,
I should use my access that I have to the NBA archives and find the whole press conference and probably share that clip. Is that what should happen?
I mean, we could. I'm sure we could find it somewhere.
I've got it. I've got access.
Yeah,
to
I mean, yeah.
the interview in the entire NBA.
Yeah. Yeah, you could. You could.
I might find that during the break.
Peter, I have your question here.
Oh, good. See, I knew it's out there. It's just not. It's just not scrubbed from the official. So you know Taylor Jenkins normally, like, you know, he's pretty verbose with his answers. You know, he's pretty.
Peter,
Yeah, exactly. So listen to the difference here, though.
All right.
As teams increasingly are bringing that second player to blitz on Ja towards the end of the game, what do you guys need to do to deal with the turnovers and the things that have happened as a result of that?
Just keep making the right decision, take care of the ball, and when we got open shots, knock them down.
Get out of here, Taylor. Man.
Is that Bill Belichick?
Man,
Or was that Bill Belichick? Was that Bill Belichick?
That's why I don't show up, man. That's a waste of my time.
Huh?
That's a waste
Was
of my
that
time.
Bill Belichick?
Did I
get that right?
That's why I don't show up right there.
Did I just get on to Cincinnati? Did I just get on to Cincinnati? We're looking ahead. Was that what I got? I mean, I like Taylor Jenkins. I like him personally.
Coach,
He's a nice guy, but like, come on, that's he treated that question like it was disrespectful or something. That's like, you saw it in the New Orleans game. You saw it in this game. Teams are like, hey, Ja Morant's really good. Let's see what happens when we make other guys do stuff.
And they see. Turns
out they're not as good as Ja, and it's not working out.
It's probably going to end up being a Dylan Brooks ISO or something like that. Or
exactly, you're going to force another guy to make a decision. Or Kyle Anderson corner three, which you know, Kyle's certainly shooting better, but I'm still probably not feeling super confident about that in the fourth quarter. Or Dylan, you know, being playmaker Dylan, trying to do too much. Or, you know, Desmond Bane. Like, for example, one of the plays was a good play. Ja Morant fired it over to Desmond Bane, who, if he had been like a little more seasoned in this lineup, would have known they like that little triangle pass goes out to the wing and then right into Jonas in the post. And Jonas has got a great matchup, and if he goes right into Jonas really quickly, then it's an easy seal, one-on-one, probably an easy basket. But Bane held it for a second, and that little second was all it took to bring the guy that was blitzing on Ja back into the mix. And then he threw it to Jonas. Jonas got double-teamed, threw it, a turnover, and it ends up going the other way. Right. That's just a little but that's what teams are doing. Teams are betting, saying, you know what? These other guys are not as good with the ball as Ja. They're not going to make the same decisions. We're going to force them to do that stuff. And if that means that, you know, we give up an open shot every now and then, that's fine. We'd rather do that than have Ja kill us in the fourth quarter.
He's going to go off on us. So yeah,
exactly. They know fourth quarter Ja is not a secret around the league. Everybody knows what the deal is, and so I think it's a very relevant question of like, what are you guys going to do about that? And his answer was, I was disappointed to see that he was very Belichick-esque.
Right.
And
instead of sharing the frustration,
dismissive.
like, man, you know, it's rough. We're still trying to figure that out. Teams are definitely adjusting to us, but you know, we just got to, you know, you just got to get something else going, man. Like we're constantly, we realize that's an issue. Teams are playing us different now, but we just got to go back to the drawing board. I'm like, all right, coach, I'll take that. But no, don't act like, you know what I mean? Sorry, coach, I don't work for the team, so I'm not gonna, you know, throw you the alley-oop in the press conference. So. No, that's why I don't go, man. I don't have time for it. Like, it's dumb. Like, I'm not doing it. Like, no. Not buying it, coach. Like, that was done. I'm getting my emotions are getting into this, man.
We'll talk about it when we come back. 67129, your texts, what you saw last night. We'll talk more about some of the specifics of the game and some of the things that we saw as the Grizzlies are very much struggling after a really strong run, you know, winning 7 in a row, feeling great, everything's awesome, then right back down into struggle time. 4 straight losses, and things looking a little bit rougher for the Grizzlies. We'll talk about that when we come back. Your text, 67129, and your phone calls as well, 360-8255. Curious what our friend Big Ed has to say about this one after calling for Jonas Valanciunas to be the focal point of the team.
Jonas Christ, get it right.
Hey, man, you deal with the lightning bolt now. We'll come back. We'll talk more about it in the Family Leisure Studios. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 and 96.1.
Sports Time with Wallow and Stacks. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on Sports 56, 98.5 FM, and 96.1 FM.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
2021 is finally here. Might I suggest we start the wonderful new year with a makeover for your beautiful house. I'm Brian Elder. I'm a roofer. I fix roofs. Don't let them tell you that it has to be replaced when all it may need is some love. 867-0303. Let me love on your roof. I've made quite the reputation over the last decade as the guy to call after the insurance company denies the claim. Overturning a claim that has gone bad is an art form where you argue county code, manufacturer specs, and details of your policy that they have to abide by. So let me see it first. If I say it's a claim, it's a claim. 867-0303. Money is free at Brian Elder Roofing with 0% financing for half a decade. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you a quote right over the phone. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
They've raised the bar again at Homer Skelton Hyundai and Genesis of Olive Branch. I like to say this is the new standard, the way car business should be done. And to prove it, out of 355 dealers in America that sell Genesis cars, the one in Olive Branch, Genesis of Olive Branch, was top 50 in the country, top 10 in the region, and number 2 in the district. And guess what? They want to be number 1. That means there are opportunities out there for you. It's the safest, and every new latest bit of technology that makes the experience of driving a car better, they've got it at Genesis of Olive Branch. If we start with the G70, the highest performing car I've ever owned, all the way to the G80 or the G90, the biggest of the sedans, you'll love everything about the car. If you would like to try the new SUV, the GV80, you call Vinny Gerard at 662-890-6684. He will bring it out to you.
I'm here with the great Pat Donahue from the Rendezvous Restaurant Shipping Department.
Thanks, Brett. We've been shipping our ribs all over the country now for decades from our USDA-inspected shipping kitchen in the Pinch District. We hand-cook our ribs in pits that Mr. Charlie built over charcoal, just like they do at the restaurant.
So what comes in a rib box?
We could do pork shoulder, we could do ribs, our sauce, seasoning, baked beans, coleslaw. We'll even throw in Pancho's cheese dip with our nacho boxes. We also put a bag of Rendezvous seasoned popcorn, heating instructions, some chef hats, some wet naps, and some other helpful tips from our kitchen. We ship our ribs overnight, exclusively FedEx. And we put them in nice packaging. We don't ever want to use styrofoam, so we use corrugated cardboard, actually 2 boxes that fit nice together, so the ribs get to you, your loved ones, or your clients in a safe, wholesome manner. Rendezvous ribs are perfect for out-of-town clients, customers, loved ones. We also ship ribs for any occasion.
Where do we order these great ribs?
You can go to www.hogsfly.com or give us a call at 1-888-464-7359.
Charlie Burgos' Rendezvous Restaurant in the alley since 1948.
Sports 56 traffic.
We got an accident on New Covington Pike at Covington Pike. And also, we're dealing with multi-accidents on I-55 south of Church Road. They have that section of I-55 heading south blocked off. So that area is closed. They're not letting any cars through as they're trying to clear all the cars and the accidents off the roadway. So if you're heading on I-55 south, going past Church Road, just keep in mind they have that section of the interstate blocked off. And this is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
He came from somewhere back in long ago. Santa Fe, don't see trying hard to recreate what
that, of course, is
once in a life, musters us.
Then, of course, is the Doobie Brothers, or is it Michael McDonald? Which one is it? I can't remember.
Well, it's this is the Doobie Brothers, but it's Michael McDonald singing.
It's the Doobie Brothers. What a fool believes. And Peter, tell us where we can hear that.
You can hear it on, probably on 107.5,
Yes,
that classic
Yep.
hits. You can hear it there. And I don't know. I think you should hear it on 107.1, Hot 107. I think it'll be just fine to hear that on Hot 107 as well.
They might put it in the mix.
Remix, absolutely.
A little old school with the regulators.
Oh, man, you could definitely do that. That'd be nice. Come on, man. What are we talking about? That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I can hear a hip hop mix of that being all right, man. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That'd be great. Oh, you can throw that. Oh man, come on. Michael McDonald's got the pipes for that. You can do. He's the best.
Yeah.
He's the best. Love
Speed
Michael
it up a
McDonald.
little bit. Put some auto tune on it. You know, put the Kanye West. You know,
the T-Pain effect.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's so many ways that you can make it work.
Without
So the Grizzlies lost last night, as we're talking about here in the Family Leisure Studios. And Sane's mad.
Yeah, man.
And
I got an anonymous texter, man, who feels my pain, bro. I don't even know where this text came from. Actually, it might just be my opinion.
You may have just mentally sent that to yourself without realizing.
Somebody hit the private line. One of my buddies hit the private line. They said, "Are we sure that Conchar and Grayson aren't related to Taylor Jenkins? He plays them like Penny plays Jaden."
Yeah.
When a team that's a former champion with a lot of 6'7", 6'8" wings and just super athletic guys, when that team is coming for you, you can't throw Grayson Allen, John Conchar, and Tyus Jones out on the court at the same time. Man. You just can't do that.
The level of athleticism was not high on the floor at that point.
Goofy. Looked like I was watching Hoosiers. Like, what is this?
I mean,
Glory Roll? What are we doing, man? I'm in fan mode today, man. I'm sorry for those of y'all listening. I'm not the radio host hat is not on. I apologize.
Well, the clearly there's really not much. The minutes distribution is very strange. Let's put it that way. I mean, obviously, John Morant playing 37 minutes is fine. Dylan Brooks playing 37 minutes. I mean, there's not much alternative, so it is what it is. But when you get to, Jonas, he's playing 30, 34. That's fine. He doesn't usually play that many minutes, and he's coming off the COVID thing, and I get it. Like, you could have used him more, but I understand, what you're dealing with there. But then you have Conchar getting 9, Grayson Allen 21 minutes off the bench, only 14 for Tyus Jones, only 10 for Gorgie Jing, who's been one of your most consistent players. He didn't have a great night last night, but he's been one of your most consistent players for a while. I get a little confused about the bench situation, and as soon as the lineups start getting flipped and flopped around, there was a struggle last night. I don't know. You have to keep a certain. I mean, obviously, the Grizzlies are missing some key guys. So are the Raptors,
bro. The Raptors team,
but they've missed. Well, but I mean, they've missed the Grizzlies have missed these guys for all year. So it's not like it's
right.
There's nothing new about missing Justice and Jaren and these guys. You have to keep a baseline level of athleticism on the floor, which the Grizzlies can struggle to hit with certain lineups. And you also have to keep a baseline level of skill and competence, and they didn't have that. They put that lineup out there for 5 minutes, where it was pretty evident that the coaching staff was playing with the game or was trying to get away with. You could say, if you want to say they're tanking, I don't think that's true, but it certainly was a lineup that was reminiscent of some of the tankish lineups of the past. I think it's more that the coaching staff views that time as a time to kind of play with the lineups and trying to get away with something and trying to make something happen with some guys that it just wasn't going to happen with. And, in trying to squeeze that too hard, they gave the Raptors a great opportunity to get back in the game and just basically handed them the impetus to keep scoring, and that's exactly what they did. They just kept scoring and scoring and scoring.
Peter, that's the time that you put in kids that parents complain about in church leagues that they're not getting time. Send a damn church league.
Yeah.
That's how coaches coach, like YMCA teams or MAM league teams. Those are the minutes. That's when you put those kids in, so their parents will say won't say you just paying my kid when it's a blowout. That's the minutes you squeeze in for those kids. Toronto threw out 6'6", 6'9", 7 foot, 6'3", 6'9", 6'6", 6'6", 6'9", and you're throwing out lineups with little dudes who probably don't need to be on the court, period, regardless of who's on the court. And you're getting killed. Like, bro, if they tanking, just let me know, man, and I won't get this mad at all. I'll be looking at Tankathon to see what's next. I can't deal with that, man. Like, that's inexcusable use of your roster. I don't get it at all. Norman Powell, 37 minutes. Pascal Siakam, 39. Van Fleet, 39. Boucher.
Well, some of that was because of Kyle Lowry got hurt.
Exactly. When guys get hurt, everyone else plays more minutes. We're playing this church league stuff, and it's killing me, bro. It's killing me.
And Terrence Davis wasn't playing that well. He wasn't shooting well. He didn't play as much. They didn't play for all the discussion about Yuta. Yuta played 16 minutes last night, and it wasn't church league. 16 minutes. He was doing good stuff. He got 3 offensive rebounds. He got 7 rebounds total. His minutes were some of the most productive offensive minutes of the Raptors. He was in there. He was plus 32 points per 100 possessions in his 16 minutes. As a net rating, he was a net positive, and his length was causing problems. I mean, he's 6'9". Well, I think he's very tall and very long. And the Grizzlies put out guys that aren't that tall and aren't that long. This is where one of those things where the Grizzlies, the drafts have been great, and drafting guys that are just quote unquote good at playing basketball is very good, generally speaking. But the only downside is when you get enough of those guys out there who have negative or just okay wingspan and just sort of okay athleticism, and you don't have a Ja or a Jaren or Justice or somebody to elevate them, then what you get is a lineup that can be overpowered and beaten up by longer, more athletic lineups. And the Raptors, they just were real long. And, I mean, there's only so much you can do. And, even you saw that the Ja Morant drove down and tried that little floater in the lane, and against most teams that might have worked, but it was Boucher who just, had these super big long arms and just blocked the shot. A lot of guys aren't going to be able to do that, and he did it. He was, he's 6'9", 200, and he looks like it because he looks, super thin, but got long arms and got in a good position. Grizzlies just don't have anybody that can deal with that. No. That's where that's where it backfires on you. This drafting guys with negative wingspan and the Desmond Baines of the world and those types of guys. Normally that's fine, but if you get enough of them on the court at the same time, which is kind of what happened in that stretch, then you can get blown away by a much more long athletic team. And then the Raptors did that.
John freaking Conchar, man, get out.
I don't know why Conchar makes you so mad.
Because he shouldn't be playing at all, bro. There's no situation where you need John Conchar on the floor. I don't care if anybody's out. If Grayson, Melton, whatever, you can go without playing John Conchar. 9 minutes, 0 points, no rebounds, just out there. Grayson Allen was fine. Grayson shot the ball well yesterday. I can't get mad at Grayson. But the combination of the two, I just can't deal with.
I think I don't know. Like I said, I think each one of those guys has a role. I agree with you that the combination is the problem.
Yeah, it's the combination.
I think it's fine. It's fine for Conchar has. Conchar had his
good
moments. I think Conchar has moments. I think he's an NBA player. Grayson Allen has had his moments.
I don't have any problem with him being on the team. But when you're playing him, you can't put him out there with guys that are like him. You got to have him out there with Ja and whoever. You got to put him out there with starters. You can't have him out there with 3 other dudes 3 or 4 other guys that are on the same wave he's on. It just makes him look terrible. It's just wasted minutes. You might as well throw Doug McDermott out there. But it's the same thing to me. Man, I'm just frustrated, man.
Well, they looked bad. That was a terrible run at the end of the game. 45-13. 45-13. The Raptors outscored the Grizzlies in the final 15 minutes of the game. That's
and that was a crap version of the Raptors we saw. That was without Kyle Lowry. That was without OG.
Anunoby.
Yeah, come on, man.
Without Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, without Kawhi.
Marcus
Kawhi Leonard went on that team.
Without DeMar DeRozan.
Without
Vince Carter wasn't on that team.
Danielle Marshall.
Jonas.
Pete. Morris Peterson.
Hakeem Olajuwon was not on that team.
Damon Stoudemire.
A lot of people forget Hakeem finished his career as a Raptor. One of the weirdest things you'll ever see is Hakeem Olajuwon in a Raptors uniform. It did happen. It did happen. It was very, very strange. Anyway, Grizzlies now have lost again. They just kind of keep on losing now, and they've gone from looking real good, 9-6, everything's good, to now 9-10. And next up, the Hornets tomorrow night, and LaMelo Ball, who is playing out of his mind right now, playing great. And the comparisons are going to start, and they probably should. LaMelo versus Ja, and it's going to be a thing. LaMelo Ball's averaged 22.6 rebounds, 6 assists since jumping into the starting lineup, and the Hornets have played really well. So LaMelo Ball hit 6 threes in the game last night as they pounded Houston 119-94. Actually, it's 7 threes, 24.7 rebounds, 10 assists for LaMelo Ball.
I'm gonna say this on air today at 7:43 a.m. on Tuesday morning.
Okay.
If the Grizzlies lose to the Hornets, I will no longer be frustrated saying I'll be Tankathon saying, and I'm fine with it. Y'all know I'm down. Y'all know I'm fine with it. I created.
This is a year.
I created.
Take
Take him down 901. Take him down 901 came from my bosom. It came from my loins. From the juices of my reproductive system, taking down 901 came from me.
All
so
right.
don't act like I ain't gonna be messed up if we had to take this whole darn thing, because I'll do it.
They really missed D'Anthony Melton. I'll say that.
You know what? No! I can't believe you went there. Because you're going to sit there and say, oh, yeah, they missed D'Anthony Melton. They said D'Anthony Melton for a whole damn game so they can see what John Conchar can bring them. So don't tell me they missing D'Anthony Melton. I sit there and watch them not play this dude and nothing was wrong with him.
Is that why they sent him?
You know it ain't. Then you sit there and tell me that they ain't tanking. Man, log me out, man.
In this game, I'm talking about in this game.
Oh, they missed D'Anthony Melton. No, they don't. They sit him down the whole freaking game to play John Conchar.
No, they missed him in this game.
They missed him every damn game.
They don't miss just like they don't miss Jonas Valanciunas against the Spurs. They didn't miss Jonas Valanciunas against the Spurs, but against the Raptors, he's 27-20.
Oh my God, I can't believe this team is turning me into this. Oh, God.
I mean, they won that game without Melton.
Yeah.
Against a better team in Phoenix, record-wise.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, I see your frustration, but I'm telling you, it's not. In this case, it's not even necessarily warranted specifically.
I forgot all about it. They totally had an entire game where they had a healthy Anthony Melton sitting on the bench and said, no, we're good. Let's see what we got in John Conchar today. What are we talking about?
Yeah, they won though, but they won.
Peter, understand it. But I'm just talking about the mindset of the decisions that are being made.
I said, if that were true, then that would be worrisome. But that's not true. I mean, they didn't.
Peter,
that's not why they said D'Anthony Melton. That's not what they said. So that's what I'm not bringing. I'm not going to bring. I guess if they want to leave that out there, then I guess they can. They're open themselves up to that kind of criticism. But that's not why they said D'Anthony Melton.
God.
Yeah, and they could have used him last night because he's long. He has long arms and is a very good defensive player and. He would have been much better in that lineup.
Stressed out, man. Oh man, if we take it, let's just take, man. I can't deal with this. I'm all right, Peter. Just pray for me. Y'all pray for me. In the name of Jonas. Jonas was incredible, man. There's no way you get 27-20 after you're a big man and you lose. Like that game was supposed to be over, man. And then I'm sitting there, I'm listening to the bootleg broadcast with the Raptors people talking. They're like, "Oh man, we can't do anything with JV. He's killing us." Oh man. And I'm out there watching Tyus
Jones. They were really
doing?
excited about Ja Morant. They were talking. It was like the Grizzlies broadcast.
Man,
if
you want to share my
great.
watch an opposing team like slob us down for a game and then like, oh look. Whoa. Then they were like, then they said this. They said, you know what? This Grizzlies team is really trash offensively. I don't understand how we're down to this team. They said that. And then just like that, they beat us. I'm like, man, I can't believe it.
And they weren't. We'll come back. We'll get your thoughts. 360-8255. 901-360-8255. Text at 67129. We'll talk about that, plus the rest of the league from last night, including, like I said, that impressive performance from LaMelo Ball, who will be the opponent. We could talk about Ja specifically and what happened in the fourth quarter and what the Grizzlies are going to need to do about it. Don't ask Taylor Jenkins about it, though.
That's not allowed.
Little touchy.
How dare you?
But we'll talk about it. And the Raptors hit 23s yesterday. So when a team hits 23s on you, teams have hit 73s against the Grizzlies in the last 4 games. That's not good. Probably need to figure something out there. We'll continue with the show. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
Get your fill of sports for lunch every weekday on Sports 56 Middays with Greg and Eli. The latest sports talk, sought after guests, your calls and texts, prize giveaways, and more every weekday from 10 to 1 on Sports 56.
I have a very honest golf instructor. This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf Realtors. My instructor is Marty Fulton, a PGA Life member whom you may remember from Plantation, Whispering Woods, or Holiday Golf Club. When I asked him what I might do to improve my game, Marty, what did you tell me?
Sheldon, I told you to get your clubs together, put them in your car, then take them to the nearest lake and toss them in.
Great, Marty. You're a big help.
Sheldon, you're far better at selling homes than you'll ever be at golf. That's why people often say when you want the job done, call Sheldon.
Thanks, Marty. And if you or someone you know is thinking about selling their home, you should talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers and make sure that I am one of them. Find out the difference in what they do in my highly successful strategic marketing program with the Shellbucks option. You or they can reach me at 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com. That's Sheldon Rosengarten at 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com. Do it now.
One thing I really admire about Central Barbecue is their commitment to quality.
Then why do they let you do their commercials?
I'm talking about their food. Everything is prepared with devotion to taking the time and effort to create perfect barbecue.
Oh, I know. That's exactly why I was wondering why...
They're not kidding with that slow-smoked Memphis-style slogan. They smoke their pork for 14 hours. Do they have to? They do if they want to be the best barbecue in Memphis, and they are.
And yet they let you just throw together...
There's nothing better than Central Barbecue because they care.
Except apparently about their radio ads.
First Bank is here to help you, whether you're a business looking for a loan to expand or refinance an existing one, a homeowner looking for a mortgage or home equity line, a consumer wanting to finance your dream car, or wanting a competitive rate on your CD deposits. Let First Bank try to handle your banking needs. Stop into one of First Bank's 3 local branches today, 6482 Poplar Avenue just east of International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase, and 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or check them out online at firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, I heard that you just got a new car.
Yes, I sure did, and I could not believe how simple it was.
Really? Tell me what happened.
I bought my car at Cars Inc. They are family owned, and the choices of cars were the best I've ever seen. They even said they could price match with anyone and help me with whatever financing I needed.
Wow, it does sound like they know what they are doing.
Their family has been in the car business for over 30 years, and they're excited about being in Memphis.
Where are they?
5095 Cummington Way, and their phone number is 901-623-7180.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
I can't fight this feeling any longer.
That's me right now. I can't fight it no more.
Yep. Well, you got to go down to 107.5 to listen more. So just get into your feelings a little bit if you want to. Because you can hear classic hits like REO Speedwagon.
Yeah. I want the doctor let me get on the sticks today down there.
I'd love to hear that. I think that'd be a fun crossover right there.
Yeah, man, I'm a little emotional, bro. It's making me so mad, bro. Oh my God.
How much of
we need Anthony Melton. No, but we clearly don't. He can take games off. So we can, kind of see what we got out there.
Clearly they need DeAnthony Melton. Clearly they need a lot of things. Ja Morant, in the 4-game losing streak, is the
respect Big 12, man.
This has nothing to do with respect. This has to do with just reality. He is the worst net rating player on the team by far, other than Brandon Clark, who has missed 2 of the games, so I can't really count him. Ja Morant, the team, his defensive rating is the worst on the team, meaning that the team's defense is at its worst when Ja Morant is playing his minutes on the floor. That defensive rating drops significantly when he is replaced by Tyus Jones. And the trouble part is that the offensive rating is also low for Ja. Normally, even if the defense isn't necessarily that great, the offense would more than make up for it. But of late, that has not been the case. As we talked about, I don't necessarily put all that on Ja because what teams are doing to him is forcing him to kind of become a secondary guy. Here's what I think are fair. Tell me if you agree or disagree. Okay, I'm going to say these are fair criticisms of Ja Morant right now. But bear in mind that Ja Morant is definitely still a superstar. There's nothing has changed as far as his long-term growth and all that stuff. Like he's still on track to be the greatest Grizzly of all time. Most talented Grizzly of all time, all that stuff. That's all still there. None of that's changed, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let me just stipulate that going forward. However, just like any other player, there are things that you can work on. And for Ja, I need Ja to be more involved when he is not touching the ball. He has taken a shine to pulling a little bit of a Trae Young situation where he sort of gets rid of the ball and then kind of disappears for a little bit. And there are plays when he just does not get involved at all in the action if he's not the guy that's orchestrating. I can't that can't be the case for him. He's got
fair
to be
criticism.
More in the mix. He's got to be more involved defensively. He can play good defense. We saw it at times this year. We definitely saw it at times last year where when he really physically applies himself and gets after it, he can be. I'm not saying he's going to be Tony Allen, but like he can be a good defender. He's got good instinct. He's got good hands. So he can be a pest defensively, but it doesn't seem like he's really in that frame of mind right now. And defensively, he's been a real problem for the Grizzlies in this stretch of games.
Fair criticism. Fair, very fair criticism. And also, just to piggyback on what you were saying, because of Ja's defensive liabilities, pulling the trigger on a move like putting Bane in the starting lineup or putting Grayson in the starting lineup as shooting guard, putting the shooter next to him, you can't really do that because you have to have someone in that backcourt that can defend. And putting another, guy who's – that's why you pretty much have to have Dillon on the court starting because Ja is such a liability on defense that you have to have a stronger defender alongside him. And it kind of limits what you can do matchup and lineup-wise. So, yeah, it is what it is.
Well, and that's the thing.
That was very respectful of Big 12, by the way.
I'm not saying – as you know, I'm an enormous admirer of Ja Morant's ability. Like he's phenomenal. He's unbelievable. It's just that no one is above constructive criticism. No one is above. Listen, I'm a great husband, a great father. I'm a great performer. I'm top of the line. Like it doesn't get much better.
You're all of those.
It doesn't get much better, but I'm also, there are things I can improve. There's always things I can work on.
For sure.
And I think that's fair, to discuss that. So, those are the issues. Those are the things that we talk about. In Ja, heavy is the head that wears the crown, as the saying goes. When you are the guy, much is expected.
Right. When you call yourself the point guard before you come into the NBA, there's a certain
correct
level of responsibility that comes with being divine,
As Peter Parker's uncle, said, to whom much is given, much is asked.
Right. Like P.D. Pablo said, North Carolina, go ahead and raise up. Take
your shirt off.
Twist it around
flip
your head,
around your head
like
a helicopter. Yes, absolutely. That's a great point from P.D. Pab.
And he also said, who am I? P.D. Pab.
P.D. Pab, MF.
MF.
Yes. And again, it's very, very,
right.
very true.
Similar to Ja, who says, Big 12, you hear me. So it's, Or he might say, I'm in this or whatever, or I'm back. Y'all better tell, whatever. Similar stuff. It's the same level of responsibility.
It's what you have to it's what you have to do. And I think that's just something you have to think about here. When we start thinking about as my old friend Skinny Pimp once said, I got one life to live, you see. And I think that's important to remember that right there. And let's never forget that, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yep. Skinny Pimp also played with these people like Tump, you know what I'm saying?
That's exactly right.
He also chose a pimp stomp over a pimp slap. That's a pretty good jump, pretty big jump, man.
He also he once rhymed the term "sawed off" with Jerry Lawler, which is one of my favorite rhymes in all of rap. So you have to respect that. That's the level that we're on here. Let's never forget that as well. Also, just as a reminder to everybody out there, I know that folks are worried about their health. Kingpin Skinny Pimp reminds you that it is not necessarily always the thermometer. You have to be very careful what you're dealing with. So,
don't let the thermometer fool you.
That's right. That's exactly right. Be careful when people ask to check your temperature.
Your temperature can be fine.
It may not be what you think.
Your temperature can be fine, but you can still be asymptomatic.
That's exactly right. It's Skinny Pimp knew about COVID even long before it happened. Let's never forget that. All right, hour number 2 on the way. From the Family Leisure Studios. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
A good friend of mine told me about this awesome place for lunch.
Oh, yeah? What's the name?
Neil's Grill and Bar, where the fat man rocks. Everybody knows Neil.
Where's it located?
It's located in Yorkshire Square off of Quince.
And what's it like?
The best lunch place in Memphis. Like real mashed potatoes and gravy. Everything is made from scratch. Monday through Friday, daily lunch specials like Monday baked chicken, Tuesday chicken fried steak, yum, fried chicken livers every Wednesday, Friday Salisbury steak, barbecue chicken, or if you just want a vegetable plate, the best veggies in town.
What about the lunch price?
Meat and 2 veggies, $7.95. Meat and 3 veggies, $9.99. And veggie plate, $8.95. Big fat boy portions, man.
Yeah, you're making me hungry.
Come hear the best live local music at Neil's. Mondays karaoke, Tuesdays Debbie Jameson, Wednesdays Elmo and the Shades, Thursdays Eddie Smith, and the best Memphis music all weekend at Neil's Bar and Grill,
where the fat man rocks.
Hi, sports fans. I'm Jay Gaddis with James Gaddis Jewelers. Valentine's Day is almost here, and we want to help you celebrate your love with beautiful jewelry from James Gaddis Jewelers. At James Gaddis Jewelers, we specialize in engagement rings and bridal jewelry and have the biggest selection of diamonds, pearls, watches, and gemstones of the highest quality for any budget. Come to see us for Cupid this year and make this Valentine's Day one they will never forget with the perfect jewelry they will always cherish. Located in the heart of East Memphis on Poplar near Mendenhall, James Gaddis Jewelers, your family jeweler.
The fun continues at Family Leisure with a brand new Factory Direct pool and patio sale. The new 2021 inventory is in. You got to get ready now and beat the rush. Become the first one to have your pool installed. They have spas in stock, and those are ready for installation right now, too. Complete your backyard with a new set of patio furniture, all state-of-the-art. Special financing available. Family Leisure, I-40 and Whidden Road, where family and fun come together.
They've raised the bar again at Homer Skelton Hyundai and Genesis of Olive Branch. I like to say this is the new standard, the way car business should be done. And to prove it, out of 355 dealers in America that sell Genesis cars, the one in Olive Branch, Genesis of Olive Branch, was top 50 in the country, top 10 in the region, and number 2 in the district. And guess what? They want to be number 1. That means there are opportunities out there for you. It's the safest, and every new latest bit of technology that makes the experience of driving a car better, they've got it at Genesis of Olive Branch. If we start with the G70, the highest performing car I've ever owned, all the way to the G80 or the G90, the biggest of the sedans, you'll love everything about the car. If you would like to try the new SUV, the GV80, you call Vinny Gerard at 662-890-6684. He will bring it out to you.
If you're going on vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Reddick Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day. Group play and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 traffic.
So the accidents on I-55 south of Church Road, those accidents have been cleared. The lanes are open. But if you go a little bit further down on I-55, or actually going north of I-55 north, south of the Star Landing, we're dealing with accidents there. So I-55 heading up to the city of Memphis, we're dealing with accidents we're dealing with an accident that is slowing down traffic in DeSoto County. So keep all of that in mind. This is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Rise in the morning sun. I feel you touch me in the pouring rain. And the moment that you wander far from me, I wanna feel you in my arms again. And you come to me.
Bee Gees.
Bee Gees and everyone.
Bee Gees, for sure, the number one artist that leads.
Your bench, can I play concha? Why not so
Why are you playing, John? 'Cause we're living in a world of fools, making these rosters.
So ridiculous.
When it's Ja, they double team.
Man, what?
When it's John, they double team. Throw out concha. Why not Grayson, Tyus, and Kyle Anderson? Give me some Gorgie for 3.
Come on, man. What are we talking about? That's what Taylor Jenkins wakes up to every day. Like,
how deep is my bench? I'ma give Melton the night off, so he can do other things.
He really needs to learn. 'Cause we're living in a world of COVID.
My man
is breaking us down. And we all know we need JV.
Bro, this is what
he went for 20 and 20.
Bro, Taylor Jenkins woke up one day and said, you know what, man, I'm just going to, not play D'Angelo Melton the whole game. Let's just see what we got in Jitty today. Let's just get some jittiness out here.
We're just going to not play Ja today. Let's just see what happens. That'll be fun.
Let's see what happens, yeah.
Let's have some fun with this.
Jaren
Let's roll the
Jackson
dice.
Jr.
What do you say?
Justice Winslow, just take half the year off. We'll be fine.
Everything's good.
Just he'll rest up, guys.
We got well, the Grizzlies. Welcome back. It is hour number 2. The Grizzlies lost last night. We talked about that. It's been rough. Not gonna lie to you. It's been a rough, a little bit of a rough morning. Going through the wreckage of what was a pretty nasty finish to the game. Raptors finished on a 45-13 run over the final 15 minutes.
That sounds so ridiculous.
To seal the game.
Watch it happen to. We watched that happen.
It sounds very very tankish for sure. Kind of stuff that happens when you're a tanky team. But Grizzlies are purportedly not one of those. So.
No, they're not tanking, man. It's just goofy. It's just goofiness that just bothers me. They're not tanking.
It is definitely goofy. It is going to be it's a nice enough day. Weather-wise, it's not like super great or anything like that, but it's all right. It's not going to be as cold as it will be later on in the week. High will be in the mid-40s today, mostly cloudy. Rain will come in over the next couple days, and then it's just going to be cold for a while. So. Basically, from Thursday for the next week or so, it'll be in the 30s and 20s and all that, possibly even in the teens, depending on when you go outside. So it's gonna be cold. Get all your outside work done today. Today's a good day to get out there and do that. As we mentioned, the Grizzlies lost, and we've broken that down to a large level, I think, and I think we've done a good job. With that. Also, we mentioned some of the other stories from last night. Very interesting to see the development of LaMelo Ball, and he's the guard that John Morant will be up against in the next game. LaMelo Ball had 24, 7, and 10 last night. Was far and away the best plus-minus player for the Hornets as they very comfortably beat the Rockets 119-94. LaMelo is
Rookie of the Year.
He looks really good.
Rookie of the Year.
He's Rookie of the Year for sure.
And imagine they weren't playing this dude. They weren't starting this man at first.
Imagine that Minnesota didn't take him. The Warriors, I get. I get the Warriors. Wiseman, all that stuff. But man, come on. What are you talking about? That's just stupid. Why do you guys keep doing this to yourselves as an organization? I don't understand it. He's quite good. And again, those comparisons between him and Ja will come up.
Please don't go off on Ja, man. Please don't.
It could happen. I hate to say it, but it could happen. The Mavericks got a rare victory last night against the Timberwolves.
Wait, Paul. Pause. Is that game there? Is the road game? The Hornets game?
I think it's here. No, it's at FedEx Forum, I believe.
Because John likes to go off when he goes somewhat close to home. So.
Yeah. If you remember the first game he played there was pretty special.
Mm-hmm.
In any event, as I was, last night I mentioned the tremendous game from the Dallas Mavericks. They finally got a victory. But I wanted to say, Porzingis looked good. This is the first time that we saw Porzingis look good. And if he looks good, then the Mavericks tend to be a lot better, as we've discussed. It was not a particularly great game from Luka, even though he's had 26, 8, and 5. He wasn't really that great by his standards. 27, 13, 4 assists, 6 blocks for Porzingis as he finally kind of looked halfway healthy. And he's sort of the difference maker for that team. But shout out to Anthony Edwards, who's having a nice rookie year. He's not, I think LaMelo Ball's Rookie of the Year. Edwards is doing better than I thought. And he had 22 last night. And you mentioned I've actually enjoyed his press conferences. He's been good in the press conferences.
I was just about to say that. Can we crown Anthony Edwards right now for probably the? It's hard to win me over once I've written you off as being a bum. I've written him off as kind of being a space cadet, so to speak, and being kind of flighty in his mind. But shout out to Anthony Edwards for coming to the Zoom press conference with a two-piece from Popeyes, allegedly. I'm assuming, but he's younger. He's one of those 19-, 20-year-old, 18-, 19-year-old kids. He's probably more in that chicken tender range. But
Yeah, I hope not. I hope not. I don't
Popeyes is made for a 2-piece spicy white. Like I think they're kind of made for that. Anything else is pretty rubbish in my opinion. But he's probably he's probably in chicken tender game. But shout out to him for having Popeyes on screen and then rubbing his face with the Birdman face rub. Yeah, that was real. That was some hood stuff, and I salute him for doing that publicly.
Well, he was. His answers have been good. Like he's been. He seems to have a good personality. I like what I'm seeing from him. I thought last night 35, 12, and 6 for Nikola Jokic. Nuggets lose to the Bucks though in that game. Are you on the Jokic MVP train?
Hell to the no.
He's averaging 28, 12, and 9.
That's great. He's a great player. He's a fantastic player. But to answer your question, no.
Why not?
Not really a fan of bigs being the MVP in today's NBA. Plus, this team is, they are what they are.
But I mean, what do you need him to do? He also is the
man. I answered your question, man.
But he's the primary playmaker on the team.
What you want me to say, man?
His role is like not a big role. Like he playmakes. He's the one who kind of orchestrates that whole offense in addition to all the other stuff.
That's great. And
I agree with you. If it's just like
if Jamal Murray,
if we're talking like Jonas Valanciunas style. If we're talking like Jonas Valanciunas style, like I get it, like 20, fine, whatever. That's that's sort of old school. But he's a modern big, so I think that kind of opens him up to a little more.
Well, if you ask me the question, is Jokic the best player in the NBA? No,
I didn't say he's the best player in the NBA.
Well, that's
MVP is not the best player in the NBA.
Well, that's what my interpretation of the MVP is. That you're the most valuable player in the NBA, and he's not that to me.
The most valuable. Now, see, that's where I think he's the most valuable to his team.
Well, actually, like I just said a few moments ago, I saw Jamal Murray go nuclear to get them out in the first round. So I'm not going to say that yet.
Well, it doesn't require just one person can't get you out of the first round.
Answer your question is no. I don't think he's the MVP.
Yep.
You know what the MVP is?
Who is the MVP? Who is the MVP?
Kevin Durant's hair is the most valuable player in the
NBA. Yeah, I'm going to disagree on that one.
What withstood time more than that?
Yeah, I don't know. But it doesn't come out.
You notice that KD and Gorgie got the same hair, pretty much.
Yeah, and they're both older.
Who's older, KD or Gorgie?
Gorgie.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the birth certificate says, but I know what I said.
No, I don't really know who. Like all jokes aside, I don't really know who's my MVP right now. You think
that's why I bring it up because I think you might be inclined to say I don't know about Jokic, but like there's really nobody else that like I don't think Giannis is not like he's doing fine, but it's not he's sort of. I mean, by his incredibly high standards, he's just kind of okay this year. LeBron is LeBron is the quote unquote best player, like I mean right. the most important player, whatever. But he's kind of. Yeah, but of course, like he's kind of going through the motions in the regular season, and which is fine. I mean, he's certainly entitled to do that. I mean, Steph Curry's having a phenomenal year. I mean, Steph's playing great. So you want to throw him in the mix? I think that's perfectly.
What about Mike Conley? The numbers
almost 30.
What about Mike Conley? He's pretty bad. Like seriously, what about Mike Conley?
He's always the MVP in my heart, saying, but not the MVP of the league. No.
The media gave Marcus Gasol a Defensive Player of the Year based on like numbers and analytics and nerd stuff. So hey, let's just switch it up a little bit, man.
Well, he's got to get past Luka if he wants to get the media nerd. No, I don't think he's going to get there. So
let me see what the media is saying. MVP.
I think it's quite wide open. If you look up there's a lot of different folks saying different things. About it.
I think I'm about to say Nikola Jokic. I think I'm about to agree with you, Peter. You may have won
I think he's in certainly based on what we've seen this year and how well he's played. I think he's very much in that mix, and frankly should be based on that. But if you look at but I think it's a little bit like the rest of the league right now, where everyone's kind of jumbled up. There's not outstanding. Like if you look at the teams around the league right now, the East is led by Philly and the West is led by Utah. Now, do we think that Philly and Utah are going to be in the lead at the end of the year? Probably not. But that's where they are right now. And a number of teams are, right there in the mix. There's 5 games that separate 3rd and 11th in the West.
Yep.
So
because the Spurs went from being like 12th to 4th, and we went from being like 4th to 12th. So
exactly, yeah. And I mean, there's 6 games that separate 3rd and 14th in the East. So it's just. Yeah, it's one of those years where because whether it's COVID or whether it's the lack of fans, given home court advantage or whatever it is, there's a lot of just sort of 500
It's a lot of
teams.
good parity in the NBA, which
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of teams that are within
in the NBA right now. So yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, do you really think that's going to be the case going forward? No, probably not. But that's where we are right now. So, like, if you look at let me see this. So 7 there, and 2, 3, 4, 5. So 12 of the 30 teams are within 2 games of 500, like either way. So, I mean, you're talking about basically just it's a very mediocre kind of thing. You can either say it's parity or mediocrity. Like, is it parity or is it mediocrity? I don't know, but it's very NFL right now, where everyone's just kind of capable of having a good game, and I don't know if there's any major huge upsets where the league would just I can't believe that team beat that other team. There's not too many of those that are out there. Now, as far as like for the future and all that, and trading, that brings up there was a trade. Derrick Rose traded to
we hadn't talked about
the Knicks. Along with Dennis Smith Jr., whose star has fallen more than Dennis Smith Jr.'s? Man alive.
I don't like talking about that because I think that man got did wrong, man.
I don't know what happened.
I don't think he's that good of a player, but I think that he was done wrong. He was killing it in Dallas. Luka came, of course, and he kind of knocked his luster off. But I think New York kind of screwed him over. I don't think he was done. I hope he goes to Detroit and does well. Detroit is becoming the land of misfit toys, like Memphis used to be.
Do you think Dallas kind of misused him as well?
That's what I'm saying. Like I think they could have had they could have made something work with him. I think he was totally cast off because Luka turned into Luka.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way.
And I think the man got did wrong.
He was destroying the Grizzlies at like.
Yeah, Dennis Smith Jr. can play. Like he's not terrible. I mean he's not a great player, but he was a guy that you didn't really. I don't think he was properly developed right at all. And sending him to New York was purgatory for him. I think they just destroyed his career.
Yeah.
Let me go back to something else too, Peter, before we go back into that. When you talked about MVP talk, what I think will ultimately happen, because you said there's so much parity to it and so many guys that can just rise to the top. I think this is one of those years that once LeBron comes off vacation, he's gonna realize, shoot, man, I can be the MVP this year. Let me just go do some LeBron stuff for a few months. You know what I mean? Like
LeBron's on vacation.
Yeah,
right
he's
now?
clearly on vacation. LeBron's like, man, I ain't got time for the All-Star game. I ain't got time. I don't feel like playing hard. Like, hey, man, but we all know that he's got that gear left in him. I could definitely see a stretch where LeBron just goes nuclear for 2 months and then I'll take the MVP while I'm at it. You know what I mean? Like, I could definitely see that happen.
Well, I mean, it's the gift that he's got where he's so good that he could just kind of
coast.
He can coast to 25 and 8 like that's like just par for LeBron. Like he steps on the court, he plays for 30 minutes, he's going to get 25, 8 and 8 just being there.
Did you grow up watching Globetrotter games?
Yeah.
I used to think the Globetrotters were the most amazing thing in the world. It's something you would see all the time. You'd have this guy who'd be mic'd up the whole game. And he's just kind of screwing around. He's talking. He's telling guys where to go. Hey, come over here. But he's got like 50 points. You know what I mean? That's what LeBron. That's what LeBron looks like he's doing. He looks like one. He looks like the Globetrotter MC on the court. It's like, all right. And then you look up, he's got 25, 10, and 5, like you said, and
I mean, it's like when Jordan played. Like Jordan would just get 20.
Screwing around.
Well, I wouldn't even be trying, and you get 20. Like it's just there's the guys that are the goats. It's just how they are, man. It's there's a difference for sure. As far as the Knicks and that the Derrick Rose trade, I don't the Knicks like I don't know. You put Rose with Thibodeau. Like I was trying to get some of that magic back. He's kind of followed Thibodeau around, and he certainly should help New York in the short term. The long term would be are the Knicks in a position where they should be playing Derrick Rose over guys like Emmanuel Quickley?
Right, and Quickley's been balling.
I don't really think so, but that's Thibodeau. That's kind of a Thibodeau thing right there. playing the old dudes and all that stuff.
40 minutes.
Yeah, so I don't. It just doesn't really. It's probably fine in the short term. Maybe it may even make them better in the short term. But long term, the Knicks need to be thinking about long term planning, not short term success at this point.
How do you feel about?
It's not like they're selling a bunch of tickets to Madison Square Garden. You're not filling up that's not
right.
It's not a box office trade.
How do you feel about, because it came out that Rose really wanted to go there, like that's where he wanted to land. How do you feel about players who they reach a point in their life and their goals aren't particularly, I want to go where I can win, or I can go where I can get a championship. Where Derrick Rose just wanted to be comfortable. He wanted to go where he could, where things are familiar, things feel like home to him. How do you feel about that, guys having that approach as opposed to, I want to go to a contender? Because he has all right to do that. He has all right to say, hey, get me to the Lakers, get me to the Clippers, get me to Denver, wherever. So how do you feel about guys who take that approach at this point in their career? Because I'm fine with it. That's what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Like get that man whatever makes him feel, whatever.
Well, I never have any issue with any player asking for whatever they want to ask for. It's just, it's got to make sense for the team. It's got to make sense for from a business standpoint for the team that, when you are, I remember talking to Shane Battier back in the day, and and one of the things that he said that was, we were like doing some interview. I forget why we were at some golf course doing an interview. I don't know why we were out there. I forget now. But anyway, he was sitting there. He was just kind of in chill mode, relaxing, and he let his guard down a little bit and was talking, was being pretty real about what was going on. And he said, "Look, man, when I went to the NBA, I signed with the NBA." He said, "I happen to work for the Memphis branch right now, but they could transfer me to some other branch." He said, "I work for the NBA." He said, "I work for the NBA. To be honest, that's where I work." And that's what guys have to think about. Guys have to think about it like that. Like, you work for the NBA. Like, you might be playing for this particular branch or this particular thing, but in reality, you are working for the NBA. And you can be transferred just like any of us theoretically could be transferred if you work for a corporation that has.
Right. We could be on Hot 107 Monday.
You could be, you things happen. You could be. I'd love to see that. I used to be on Hot 107, by the way. I don't know if you know that or not.
No.
What?
Yeah,
You were on air personality on Hot 107.
Yes, I was a sports personality. I was Sweet Pea.
What?
Yeah. That's right.
No.
That's correct, yes. Or Sweet Pazizi, as sometimes I was known as well. Yeah.
So that was before Morning Rush days?
No, it was during morning. I would tape stuff for them and
okay.
Yeah.
Man, you a grinder, man. That's that Scorpio chemistry we got, I guess, bro. Man, that's my guy, man. I loved it. It was great. My girl TK. I was on me and TK. Dr. Flynn, if you need your boy to slide to another station down the down, I can come up with it. Yeah, I got you.
So you work for the NBA, which means you might get moved here, there, whatever. But it doesn't change the nature of your contract. Whatever your contract is, it stays the same. And so within that mentality, if guys want to make a request to go to if you work for International Paper and they got places in Colorado and you're from Denver, you say, man, I'd really like to go home to Denver, man. That would really work for my family. They might say, cool, we could do that. Or they might say, no, that's not going to work. We need you here. The guys are well within their rights to ask for whatever. Or I want to work for a better, my particular team here in the company. We're underperforming. I'd rather work for the, over on the sales side. They're doing great. Right now I'm in technology management. That's not what I want to go to. And they might say, forget you, man. We need you in technology management. We're not transferring you over. Guys are well within their rights to ask for whatever. It just doesn't mean that they got to get it. That's all I'm saying. And so I don't care. Derrick Rose, I'm happy for him. I hope that spurs his. He's a special player when it all works, man. He's a special player.
Still is. Peter, I know we're up against the break. I really want to piggyback on what you're saying right now.
Yeah.
Let me jump back into it after the break though, because I think it's a good discussion that me and you both will agree on.
Okay, all right. Let's do that. We'll jump in after the break. 360-8255, 901-360-8255. You want to jump in on that discussion, you can. There's a whole lot more to get to here as we continue. Hour number 2, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on AM 560, 98.5 FM, and 96.1 FM.
I want to do some bragging rights. Hey, I was just the other day overhearing a conversation with Big Mike, the manager of DeSoto Auto Sales. They've got people buying cars all over the country. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas. People from all over the country buy cars at DeSoto Auto Sales in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Why? DeSoto Auto Sales has the most stringent car inspection in America. They get it right the first time. Quality and low mileage, factory warranty on most vehicles. My favorite part is the people who work there. Big Mike, all the employees are professional, friendly, and go that extra mile. Expect as you walk in the door, you're treated like family. DeSoto Auto Sales understands your time matters. We can help you find your dream car and get all the paperwork finished in less than an hour. Come see us at DeSoto Auto Sales and be part of our family. Have a great buying experience every time. 662-890-7184.
Bria's Fashion Boutique is the worst. First, they asked me if I needed help finding anything. Just because I'm gorgeous doesn't mean I need help.
No matter how hard you work for your small business, online reviewers will find something to complain about.
Then they tell me they're having a sale. Oh, so you're assuming I'm poor. Cool.
And while Progressive can't save you from these trolls, we can help you save money on commercial auto and business insurance.
Also, they tried to give me the friends and family discount. I'm not your friend, so...
Get a quote online today at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliated and third-party insurers.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Looking for a great place to deposit your money? Try First Bank. Competitive CD rates, a money market that moves with Wall Street prime and interest-bearing checking account options. Not to mention their friendly bankers who make decisions locally. To find out more, stop by one of First Bank's 3 local branches. 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper. 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase. And 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or visit firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC.
Sports 56 traffic.
We're still working the accident on I-55 northbound south of the Star Landing in DeSoto County. Like I said, the I-55 south of Church Road, that's on the other side of I-55. That accident has been cleared. The lanes are open. But on the other side, 55 north, we're dealing with some delays there. And that is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Then I'll spend a lifetime wishing us together. I never thought she'd say goodbye.
Come on now. Welcome back as we continue our number 2. Yeah. Family Leisure Studios. Tell you what else. I hope you've been able to maybe calm yourself down a little bit if you've been upset about the Grizzlies losing. Maybe even make a little money on the side with it, because they've got those same game parlays that are such a great part of FanDuel and FanDuel Sportsbook. It is a way to make a little money, even if things are not necessarily going as well as you would like them to go for your team. Hey, don't sweat it, because you can still make a little money, and they've got a great way to keep that going for you. Up to $25 same game parlay insurance. So if you make a same game parlay bet, you bet 5 different things, and one of them doesn't quite work out. Hey, you know what? It's okay. Don't sweat it, because they'll give you up to $25 back in credit for the site, and that you can use somewhere else. You can give it another crack. They always take care of all of you. Now, also, they've got some great opportunities for those of you to bet on the Australian Open. You may not even know that the Australian Open is happening right now. Well, guess what? It is, and you have an opportunity to bet on that. And I will tell you, it's a fun thing to be like it's like midnight here, and you're like, man, no, I want to watch something. And you can watch the Australian Open, and you can bet on it live as it's happening. And what else can you? How else could you have a little fun watching tennis in the middle of the night? But with FanDuel Sportsbook. But absolutely, you throw a couple bones on somebody, and hey, bam, there you go. Now, new users can bet the top 5 men's players to win this year's Open with exclusive 30-1 odds. So you can make a little money on tennis, even if you don't even know anything what's going on. I pick one of the top. You pick any of the top 5 men's players. If they win, you get 30-1 odds. Just sign up and make your first deposit in the Sportsbook app. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Sign up with promo code BIGHEAD so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code BIGHEAD. Have to be 21 or present in Tennessee. For odds boost, must wager in designated offer market. $10 deposit required. $300 max bonus. For a leaderboard, $10 wager required. $6,000 max bonus issued in site credit that expires in 7 days. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For problem gambling support, call 1-800-889-9789. We were discussing the Derrick Rose situation and guys getting traded, and you had a thought that you wanted to.
Yeah, man, we had talked about protecting the brand and about how these guys are employees of the NBA, and they basically they work for different branches of the NBA. And it brought me to a conversation that I had on my podcast recording last night, and something that we've talked about on the show as well that I just want to just refresh again. After watching the Super Bowl, the commentators all were what I would call protecting the legacy and the future of the NFL. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they were giving props to Tom Brady as being one of the greater quarterbacks of all time. And at the same time, throwing praise on Patrick Mahomes, who's clearly the future of the NFL. And they were just talking about the game, things that you saw, and things that were going on the field. And they were being critical where their things need to be criticized. But all in all, they were protecting the legacy of the league, the integrity of the league, the future of the league. Those were all things that you hear on their commentary. Former NBA players have all been millionaires because of this organization that allows them to have a platform to do so.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a platform, also a league that
you're going with this. I'm with you. I like where you're going with this.
And there's also a league that allows them the platform to be themselves, to be demonstrative, to speak out against social injustice, to share for the community. They give awards for guys who do things within the community. You know what I mean? They allow you to be public. You don't have to wear a mask. I mean, you don't have to, you don't have to wear a helmet. you can show your face even with the mask on. You're allowed to be LeBron James. You're allowed to be
all right, Michael Porter Jr. Let's
right.
calm down.
You're allowed to come to a podium with a 2-piece in your hand. Like that's the league that you guys have came from. It bothers me that these former players take this platform as commentators, a place that also allows them to have a job after their playing days are over as commentators. It bothers me to see, and I know that they're not hired by the NBA, they're hired by TNT, ESPN, etc. But it bothers me to see guys who, we talked about tanking. It bothers me to see guys who tank their jobs as a commentator in the way that they call games, in the way that they do their TV presentation. To crap on the league as it is right now, crap on current players, call out current players. It's sickening, man, and I'm just tired of seeing it. Shout out to Kevin Garnett who said yesterday, you know what? I hear a lot of guys talk about these guys playing now. The guys from my game 20 years ago, they couldn't hang in today's NBA. Kevin Garnett said that. Bravo to you, Kevin Garnett, for saying the obvious, what everyone should be saying. You know what I mean? And it's just really, it's troublesome, it's bothersome. Like, don't tell me that 6'8", 300-pound LeBron James couldn't dominate in any era. Don't tell me Kevin Durant couldn't do it. Don't tell me Giannis couldn't do it. Don't tell me Luka Doncic wouldn't dominate if you threw him back in the 80s and the 90s. Don't tell me any of these guys. Don't tell me Damian Lillard. Don't tell me Steph Curry wouldn't go off just like he's going off now back then. And, like, for these guys to just get on here and just trash the game, trash the league, trash the players, hate on everybody, like, don't, like, bros, enough.
It's really, I totally agree with you. This is one of the things that just kills me about the NBA, the production of the league as a national product. That's why the local broadcasts are so much better. Memphis, obviously, with Pete and Brevin, and the local broadcasts pretty much across the board. They typically have former players who tend to be much more positive and embrace the product rather than just rip and criticize and talk about how soft and how no one could play in the old era and all this stuff. I don't like the basketball. I don't like Barkley constantly doesn't even watch the sport. They don't even watch the sport. I'm pretty sure they don't watch. I'm not sure they watch the games that they're talking about. I was thinking about this.
It's crazy,
on Inside the NBA, do you really think they're actually watching the game?
It seems like they're not.
I don't think they are. I think they just go and do their thing and whatever and come back and talk about throw some highlights in there, maybe sort of glance at the TV while they're talking about other stuff. Like I don't get the impression they care or watch or know what's going on.
I don't know what people want to see, but when I saw the Grizzlies versus the Raptors game yesterday, and just saw two teams getting up and down the court, moving the ball around, finding open men, cutting, like anybody on the court can knock down threes, like on both sides. Like that's exciting basketball to me. Like that's very entertaining to see. Like that's skill. Moving the ball, just swinging the ball, all that stuff, is aesthetically pleasing. I don't understand what they want to see from these guys on the court because the product on the court is entertaining. So I don't understand why these guys are so jealous and just come out here and just destroy games, man. Just destroy the broadcast. Like I just don't get it at all.
Yeah, it's spending all this time for their own ego, and they just ripping all these other players and all this. It's ludicrous, man. It's ludicrous. It's bad. It's bad. Like broadcasting, it's bad for the product. It's bad for the fans. It wasn't great watching. Go back and watch those games from the '90s. Right. I keep telling everybody, go back and watch those games. It was compared to this. It was not. I mean, it was more physical, I guess. But it wasn't the same. It was no one wants to watch just dudes getting beaten up,
wrestling with a basketball.
And the final score of
74 to 70.
Yes, what is that? That's not cool. And when you throw the ball into the post and everyone would just clear out and you couldn't double team because of the rules, illegal defense. So you guys could just sit there and go 1-on-1 for. You throw it to Karl Malone and he would just post up for 10 seconds straight, and then that's not, I don't know. It's fine for what it was, but
right.
Don't act like that was the pinnacle of basketball. Don't act like that was the pinnacle of basketball. Don't act like these guys now are soft and bad. And more importantly, if I'm the NBA, if I'm Adam Silver, I'm like, why don't you get people that seem to actually enjoy the product and care about the product? You don't hear about half the ESPN broadcast is Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson talking about God knows what, and instead of the game, they're talking about other stuff. They have their own little podcast about what's going on in the middle of the game. They're not actually talking about the game itself. They might be talking about some issue that's come up in the league or some issue that's up somewhere else. They very rarely even deign to talk about the actual action that's happening on the in football. How many? Let me ask you this, Same. So I was watching I'm watching the Super Bowl, and stuff happens, and you hear Tony Romo. Tony Romo kind of gets on my nerves, whatever. But he's saying he'll show you okay, this guy was trying to do this, and this opened up the field for this guy, right? Here's the X's and O's. Here's this guy was running this route, this guy was running this route, and here's why the play was open, because these two guys ran this route and because the defense was expecting this. They do that all the time. Here's a breakdown of the play. How many times do you see that in the NBA? In a broadcast where they say, you know what, we're coming back with this break. Here, let me break down this one out-of-bounds play that this team ran. Here's why it worked. They were expecting this. You were expecting that. Here's why. How many times do you see actual, discussion of the plays and discussion of, why players do certain things in the NBA? In the middle of the game. Never. Like they don't. They never say here's like they like to run. They like to run a lot of dribble handoff action, and so as a result of bringing that second guy up into the screen, they like. Do you never hear like the X's and O's? There's so many. Like this is why people think the basketball is just like dudes run up and down the court because they don't talk about it.
Right.
Like it's
these guys are
these guys are running stuff that they practice meticulously. They're doing things that they are. This is what the team wants them to do, and there are reasons why.
Right.
And they just won't talk about it on the broadcast. It kills
like
me. Like
everybody's broadcast is a play-by-play guy and some surly dude.
Yeah,
Like,
some
like
crotchety. Like Hubie Brown is great. Hubie Brown's 150 years old, and he still loves that. Like he talks about it, and he's actually like when you hear him on the radio, he's like, okay, this is great. Yeah, look at this guy. He's running up and down. Oh, that's fun. Oh, look at this guy. He's having a great look at this. They're trying to do that. Like like he enjoys it.
Mm-hmm.
He's 1,000,000 years old. Like he'd be if anyone would be cranky and crotchety, it would be him. He was kicked. Yeah, and he's like, oh, this is great. I love his kid John Moran. He's having so much fun out there. It's a great. And then
Fred Fan Feet, I tell you.
Fred Fan Feet, that's incredible. Oh, and then you got Mark Jackson, who's just like, well, these kids ain't tough. Back in my day, of course, it was a lot different. I could have beat up John Moran 2 times on the lunch.
He ain't dunking on me. He ain't dunking
on
me.
He never would have had any lunch money because I would have taken it every single day. That's exactly right. These kids are idiots and stupid. All of them.
His job would have worked. It would have worked.
Yeah, oh my God! It would have been. Oh, this is absolutely incredible.
He ain't dunking on me. Big 12, you hear me.
And then Van Gundy's like doing like a Seinfeld, like, what is the deal? What's going on with these refs? I mean, it's great. And what about Britney Spears documentary? Where is she back in what are you talking about? There's a game going on.
Oh man, I hate it, bro. I hate it.
It's the worst.
Sandwiches. Like
who puts pickles on their sandwich? I mean, I don't like. Do you like pickles? I don't like pickles at all.
Man, you are the king of the bootleg stream, but I enjoyed yesterday watching a complimentary broadcast with guys who seemed to be – because we had Matt Devlin, who used to be here. And it was good. I was like, yeah, shout out. Like they were giving the Grizzlies equal props to them. It's not just a biased homer thing. It was just good to hear them. They were having intelligent basketball conversations about what
they enjoyed like the game. They were enjoying talking about the game.
Yeah.
Like that's a refreshing change of pace. Like, you could like go back to Tony Romo. Like Tony Romo – clearly loves football, maybe too much. It's a concern. But there's no question that he enjoys what he's watching, and he enjoys all the X's and O's and the whole thing. He enjoys the process. None of these dudes act like they enjoy basketball at all. Like they enjoy the NBA. Like it is a chore to get them to watch. And Shaq's like, I'm a fan. I would beat you, Rudy Gobert, but I'm watching you and I appreciate what you're doing. What are you talking about? It's not always about you. Shaq was an amazing player, but it's not just about Shaq.
I want to make sure you heard me. My criticism of you, and I'm glad that you listened. I'm like, no, man.
I'm glad you I motivated you, and I appreciate that you appreciate it.
I just want to know what you think about that when I called you out. Like, man.
I said, hey, joining us now is Nikola Jokic. Jokic, you're a bum. What are your thoughts?
What are your thoughts about me thinking you suck? Shut up, Shaq.
That's not an interview. What is that? And then Barkley calling Jokic Russian. He's like, "Oh, you're Russian, huh?" And then like,
fight them.
No, like, what are you like? Do you know? Just debate. Like, this is why are we celebrating like ignorance? Why are we celebrating people like? Come on, man. And like I said, I love the chemistry on the show. So like I like when they're
but the hating, man, like the
hating is just is too much.
Just get out of here, man.
It's getting out of hand. Like
it's like a team full of Dan Dockages out there, man. Like,
oh my God, yeah. Oh, the Dockage would fit right in. Oh, I can't. What are they doing? This student. Does Penny even run a practice? Does he know, like, are they the X's and O's? Just a bunch of street kids running out here. And I go, all right, okay.
Where are their fathers?
I got your little.
Where are these kids' fathers? Are their dads? What are we talking about?
A lot of athletes out here, but I don't know about this basketball IQ. I don't know. All right, we get it, Doc.
The sound is kind of cloudy on the court. It's kind of, I don't really understand what's going on. There's a lot of mumbling. There's a lot of mumbo jumbo. I don't understand what's going on out here.
Like, all right. I think we get. I'm getting what you're saying. I get it. I got it. Okay, dude, I got it.
You
Jeez.
idiot.
Oh man.
So I hate it, man.
But props to Tony Romo, man. Props to Tony Romo calling the Super Bowl.
Exactly. He loves the game. Like I said, he annoys me. He gets a little crazy. I'd rather him be too excited than not excited enough. I'd rather a guy that actually like enjoys it,
right?
Rather than he's like just like, oh God, I got to do another game today.
He called the game very well. He came with the Tony Romo for the clowns and all the bozos, which is, I believe, Post Malone. So shout out to Tony Romo for representing.
Oh man,
I can't deal with it, man. And these are guys.
And I appreciate Kevin Garnett. What he said, and there's a piece in the New York Times. If you want to check it out. He talked about how his guy back in his day, the guys like they would have played, and like he said, he didn't say that like his guys like were terrible, and like he didn't downplay his own generation. But he just said it's different now. And he said those guys are running up and down the court, have to stop, shoot a three, run all the way back down, shoot another, run back down. He said you can't use your hands on defense. How are you going to stop these dudes? If you're an offensive player, you have great opportunities. Like he's right. Like, I mean, it's a different generation.
Like, what would Pascal Siakam have been if you dropped him in the 90s?
Oh, my God.
You know what I mean? Like, just regular dudes. Like, dudes who aren't – I mean, he's an all-star level player. But Bradley Beal, drop him in the 90s. You know what I mean? What would he look like? I mean, stop the nonsense, man. Like, just –
Russell Westbrook would have been like 40, 20, and 20 against these guys. Like, it would have been just crazy.
Like,
so I can't. Yeah, I can't.
Who would have guarded Kevin Durant in '93? Who you gonna put on?
Nope, no one. Literally no one.
Alonzo Mourning. What you gonna do, man? Larry Johnson.
Tony Kukoc.
Yeah, put Tony Kukoc on him. Yeah.
I mean, Giannis would have been. Forget about it. There's no.
Dude, Shaq with a ball handle. What are we talking about, man?
Yeah, it's crazy. So, and I mean,
man,
never mind LeBron. Never mind LeBron or any of those guys. I mean, come on.
No, LeBron wouldn't have done. You lost your mind. He's Karl Malone as a point guard, and you're talking about nobody would have done. What are you talking about, man?
He's like way more athletic Magic Johnson out there.
Like this version of LeBron in the twilight of his career is way more athletic than Magic Johnson ever was. You think they're doing
in the prime of his career, he's way more athletic than Magic in his prime.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Quit thinking these dudes wouldn't go dominate the league back then. Like I sat there and watched Magic Johnson just be big and dominate. Like don't act stop, man. Like.
He had 42 and 13 and 9 as a center as a rookie year in the Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Like, I mean, come on, man. LeBron would have 60 and 30.
Come on, stop the madness, man. Stop hating on today's NBA.
Man. Life moves on. People get more athletic, not less athletic. People get bigger, not smaller. And you all everyone just has to admit that. That's the way it's the way it goes. You just have to say, look, it's a different game. It's just different. It's no knock on your game or anything else. It's like,
in Texas,
Babe Ruth was an amazing player, but he didn't play against black people. Like, would that have affected? Probably would. I mean, I don't know, but it would have affected.
Yeah. So Texas says, I disagree. Players picking he's talking about Derrick Rose. Players picking their teams is what has ruined the NBA. The NFL will always be king because of parity, and guys just can't quit on the team when he feels like it. What the NFL are you talking about?
Yeah, they still take teams, man.
And unfortunately, on the NFL, teams can quit on a guy whenever they feel like it. That's a real problem.
Yeah,
right there. We'll come back. We'll talk about that as we continue here. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio. We are Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
At First Bank Mortgage, their core purpose is to help you get to a better place. That better place may be a lower monthly payment, that vacation you thought was impossible, or getting into a home with a fenced backyard where your kids can play. To get into your better place, First Bank Mortgage makes decisions right here at home. Dedicated to helping you get to your better place, First Bank Mortgage. Call Daniel Mooney at 901-462-0145 today. NMLS 741022. Equal housing lender.
There's an institution in East Memphis that I love talking about. It's the Spirit Shop at 4848 Poplar Avenue, right down the street from Clark Tower, and it looks like a log cabin. It's been around Memphis since 1969 with a family-owned, friendly, knowledgeable sales staff that is just a wonderful place to go. I love going in and talking wine or bourbons, and they've got such great selection. So if you've not visited the Spirit Shop in a while, it's been remodeled. You'll love what you see when you need spirits. Tell Eddie Wollo said hello.
Hey, we get it. You don't want to be hearing a Progressive commercial right now, so let us tell you something you do want to hear. No one is funnier than you. People laugh just thinking about the things you've said. I'm laughing at one of them right now. Coworkers repeat your jokes at the office, but they're never as good as when you tell them, and shame on them for trying. There. Don't you feel better? You'll also feel better knowing you could save when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Although I'm sure you'd have a funnier way to say that. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
Taqueria Express number 6 is now open at 6290 Winchester Road. Taqueria Express has locations all over Memphis, serving the best and most authentic Mexican food. You can dine in and take advantage of the full bar or get your order to go. Call ahead at 901-800-2737 to pick up or use the drive-thru. Plus, online delivery options through Uber Eats is coming soon. Stop into Taqueria Express number 6 at 6290 Winchester Road and find out how you could win a 2021 Nissan Versa. Taqueria Express number 6 is now open.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
What I want, you got, and it might be hard to handle, but like a flame that burns a candle, the candle feeds the flame. Yeah, what I got, full stop, my thoughts and dreams scatter.
Might hear this on 107.5.
Yep.
I can't explain. Come on. Woohoo.
Hold on, no, so
That's right.
Tell me what you need me to explain. I just want to make sure you heard me act like, bro, Shaq, nobody owes you freaking anything. Like, bro, that man ain't got to explain nothing to you.
You guys are a great man.
God.
But you're not the best. What are your thoughts on that?
Taylor Jenkins, your rotation sucked. I think you're a bum. Your thoughts? Like, what? Is that a question? Was that a question? What was that?
Like, Coach, you're out there playing jitty, but he's really looking. You know the rest, Coach.
That's right. That's right.
I'm gonna start doing that. I'm getting the Zoom calls.
Was he like you say Sharif's like parent teacher conference when he's a. I think you're teaching Sharif like an idiot. You suck.
What do you have to
that's
say?
My
about
thoughts
that?
on you. Now, what do you have to say about that? When I was a kid, I could teach everybody a lot better than you. Your thoughts?
We put him when he was in homeschool. He was much better. What are your thoughts on that?
Dr. Fauci, you're an idiot. What? I can. All right, Shaq. All right.
I'm gonna jump in today's Zoom call like that. I'm gonna jump in the Zoom. Oh man!
See, your last time you jumped in with a impression. I think you should try to do a different impression.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be me, bro. I'm just gonna come in. I'm gonna log in as Shaquille O'Neal. I'm gonna black my screen out. I'm gonna say, "Hey, this is Shaquille O'Neal."
Just play a loop. Patch in some video on your Zoom call of just a loop of Shaq on like inside the NBA, just over and over again. With that. Just see if anyone notices.
You know they got that app where it's got like where you can talk to a celebrity's voice.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just gonna be like.
Man.
Or maybe I'll do a cameo.
Oh God.
You know, maybe I could pay one of these dudes to ask a question to Taylor Jenkins and play it for pay him for real to ask a question.
Oh man, I'm gonna black out my screen and log in to Shaquille O'Neal. Taylor Jenkins, your rotation sucked. You should be back on Coach Bud's bench, stopping guys from fighting. That's all you need to be doing.
That's what these guys. That's the whole question. That's the whole deal.
Go shave your beard. We don't have time for that. Stop playing John Conchar. Y'all got the same beard. Go sit down. I'm
genuinely done. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. But his, these guys they don't like it. They don't seem to like it. They don't. I don't know. I don't know why we keep messing with them. We got to find some other people.
They
Doris Burke. Like, I love Doris Burke, and Doris Burke's great. Like, she actually talks about the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how crazy is that? Like, just talk about the game. Wonderful, fantastic, appreciate it. Like, it's not. Who would have thought that'd be revolutionary if you just talk about the game that's actually going on? That's it's just incredible. Tough news. Marty Schottenheimer passed away. Former Chiefs head coach, among others. One of the real big names in coaching, and a guy was around and was one of the best for a long time. He had been dealing with Alzheimer's and had a rough go for the last few years. He's passed away at the age of 77 yesterday. So very, very, very sad news there about Marty Schottenheimer. Also, the NFL, the ratings came out, and basically, broadcast-wise, it's kind of, because you get streaming now, so it's kind of hard to, put all the ratings together. But seemingly the worst ratings for a Super Bowl in quite some time. Terrible. And I can only assume it's because of the NBA. There must have been LeBron James and the protests.
It's all this Black Lives Matter stuff, man.
Black Lives Matter. I guess they saw end racism on the helmets, maybe, and that was what turned people off. I'm not really sure. Turns out that more than just basketball are down sports-wise during a pandemic.
Yeah.
Also, people don't really want to watch that. That was really not a very good football game. So a lot of people, I'm sure, turned it off. Said, "This game kind of sucks. We're going to watch something else."
That's kind of how it works.
That's kind of how it works. So if it had been really good,
NFL, the Super Bowl is terrible. I need you to tell me right now this is the last one you're ever going to do. I need you to tell me right now you're canceling the Super Bowl. This is Shaq.
Cancel the Super Bowl.
I need you to tell me right now you're
Shaq.
What?
The weekend. Your performance was trash. Get a new jacket.
You're a fake Michael Jackson. Get your hair twisted. Go get your hair dreaded. Turn your fro into some dreads.
You have no charisma as a performer. Back in my day, we had real Super Bowl performers.
And I had a platinum album as well, so I need you to tell me why your performance sucked.
It just sounds like people talking about music, like, there's no good music nowadays. It's all crap. Like,
sound old.
Times change. You sound old, exactly. You sound old, man. Just deal with it. Times change. Hour number 3 on the way, and we have much to discuss in hour number 3. We'll recap what happened last night for the Grizzlies. It was not good. We'll get into some other news around the college football world, too, and the college basketball world as well. All that on the way as you listen to hour number 3, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
Upgrade your commute at Acura of Memphis. Seize the thrill and test drive one of our award-winning models, each packed with cutting-edge technology, luxurious amenities, and a driving experience that's sure to awaken your inner self. Driving shouldn't be a chore, it should be an adventure. Advance your drive today, shop our aggressive lease and finance options now, luxury is waiting at Acura of Memphis, or shop online 24/7, visit AcuraofMemphis.com.
Bria's Fashion Boutique is the worst. First, they asked me if I needed help finding anything. Just because I'm gorgeous doesn't mean I need help.
No matter how hard you work for your small business, online reviewers will find something to complain about.
Then they tell me they're having a sale. Oh, so you're assuming I'm poor. Cool.
And while Progressive can't save you from these trolls, we can help you save money on commercial auto and business insurance.
Also, they tried to give me the friends and family discount. I'm not your friend, so...
Get a quote online today at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliated and third-party insurers.
This is a job alert. If you're looking for work, this will interest you, whether you're looking for full-time, part-time, or even something temporary if you've been recently furloughed. Text 107-JOB to 49330. That's 107-JOB to 49330. Office work available now in a clean office environment with all COVID precautions taken. Text 107-JOB to 49330 and someone will be in touch about these job opportunities available now. Text Text 107-JOB to 49330.
If ever there was a time for comfort food, this is it. And there's no comfort food like Sunrise on Jefferson. Fresh made breakfast featuring Sunrise's signature homemade square biscuits or the huge selection of hot, fresh, and fast lunch items are all part of what has always made Sunrise the most comforting of comfort foods in Memphis. Of course, everything that can be done to keep you and the staff safe at Sunrise is a top priority. And you can always order ahead and get delicious Sunrise to go. At a time this confusing, it's good to know there's one thing you can count on: Sunrise.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
If you're going on vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Reddick Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day. Group play and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 traffic.
Working accidents on Airline Road at Memphis Arlington Road, and also at Harrisburg Road at Fox Meadow Lane. That's Airline Road at Memphis Arlington Road and Harrisburg, Road at Fox Meadow Lane. And that's your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
All I wanna do in the middle of the evening is hold you tight. Rosanna, Rosanna. I didn't know you were looking for more than I could ever be.
Peter, I'm excited to see you evolve as a John Hollinger type who's creating your own metrics to determine
That's right.
NBA players. Well,
that's exactly right. A lot of people. Well, I'm gonna tell you about my new metric coming up here in this segment. It's exciting. We're developing things as we go.
Right.
Hour number 3 is here, presented by our friends at Acura of Memphis, here in the Family Leisure Studios. My name is Peter Edmiston. He is Anthony Sane. I'm not saying his blasphemous Zoom name.
Not going to hell with
of course,
me. Don't go to
we
hell
have our
with
good friend. Exactly, that's right. That's right. You can do that by yourself. We have our good friend Zach, who's trying to help Sane, I'm sure, but to no avail. We've been talking about the Grizzlies losing again, 4 straight losses. This one capped off by a Raptors 45-13 run to finish the game in the final 15 minutes. It's still hard to believe that is a real number, but it really is.
Yeah. And I sat there and watched it, which I can't believe it. I actually watched them flip the game over like that.
Brutal. Absolutely.
And I'm arguing with
absolutely
freaking weirdos on Twitter about John freaking Conchar. Man, you gonna get the hell out of my face.
So we were talking about the how do you analyze players? What's the best way to analyze players?
Yeah.
And I personally I think that PER is outdated. A lot of people say what's the guy's PER? What's the PER? What's the PER? Player efficiency rating.
And that's something that was pretty much coined by John Hollinger.
Well, John Hollinger created it. It wasn't. Yeah, I mean, he created the whole thing. He
Mm-hmm.
created the formula, created the name, the whole thing. And it was useful for a time, but now that we have more data and more information, PER is somewhat outdated. Now people use it as kind of they don't necessarily know what it really means. PER tends to bigs get enhanced by PER, all that stuff.
And guys
that
don't shoot the ball much. If you're a low volume shooter, your PER can get elevated.
There's plenty of and there's plenty of other metrics that are out there that are probably better, including one that I've created, which is called PETER.
Okay.
It's PETER, which is player efficiency through eyesight rating. And so that what you call the eye test, I call the Peter check. Does a player have a big Peter? That's a very important metric to know about a player. As players tend to get hot, they make more shots. That Peter gets bigger, and then of course
Peter
cold
rises,
streaks.
The Peter rises. Yeah.
The Peter, yeah, absolutely. And then as cold streaks hit, the Peter will shrink.
Yeah, you'll get shrinkage
because it just makes sense that as you get colder, the Peter is
some guys just choke
gonna
up.
fall.
Because some guys just choke up during the big moments.
That's absolutely. I mean, sometimes the Peter can. They can fail you when you least expect it, unfortunately, and that could be an embarrassing moment for a lot of guys out there.
Texas says, I find the Peter metric irrelevant because it disproportionately favors bigs.
Well, there's no question that Peter is some, but the Peter check can be deceiving because some players just walk out on the court and have a big Peter
rating.
In others in others it only shows up after a while. Like it doesn't look that big at first, and then you realize
got to get the game going.
Later
gotta
on,
get the flow of the game, and then
they get the flow of the game, and you're like, wow, that Peter is big. That's a lot bigger than I thought.
They do better off the bench.
Exactly. Sometimes you have to just get into the
had to sit back, watch the game, from the sideline, and then jump in.
Well, in some bench players, the Peter you only get that big Peter rating for about a minute or two, and then it all kind of falls apart. And other guys, they can go 40 minutes plus.
High usage, high volume. Yeah.
Absolutely. Some guys are high volume, high usage guys. Some guys are not afraid to go inside repeatedly. And other guys, maybe not so much. So it's just it's a good metric, I think. And so to me,
bravo,
Peter,
man. I think you shouldn't let that should get mainstream traffic. Like that should get out there.
I hope so.
You might get hired by a team to be like part of the front office, man. Like with the Peter.
Be like, hey, this player certainly has a big Peter, and I think that's going to be I think that's going to be a big metric. Who's got the biggest Peter around the league? That'll be a question that'll happen. A big discussion amongst locker rooms, probably. A lot of guys talking about that. Which one of us has got the biggest Peter is what they'll say in the locker room, and there's really there's only one way to find out. And so that's just some of the fun. That's just some fun basketball talk that we're talking about here. You're coming up with new things. You're driving, generating new frontiers of analysis, and that's the kind of stuff that we need to start really thinking about. Anthony's saying, I think that takes us to the next level out there.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, man. Like I think you need to get that going, like get that out there. Like dead serious, man. It's efficiency, but it also includes an eye test.
That's exactly right. The eye test is very important. You have to throw in that eye. You got to throw in the eye test, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got to throw it in. You got to look. It's not just about the numbers, man. It's about seeing what's really going on out there. You got to make that thing happen.
This all comes from Saluki Blue on Twitter, who says that. What did he say? Hold on. What did he say? He says that Conchar is fourth on the team in PER, and also is higher in box score plus minus than any other player mentioned in the tweet. Grayson has a slightly better PER than Bane, and is just more experienced. These aren't absurd moves. He's talking about playing Conchar and Grayson, period, or whatever. So I was like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, again, the PER is just the PETER says that Conchar is not as good.
Right. And my response was any stat that has Conchar being anything more than your 11th, 12th man is trash, needs to be thrown away. If you have a weird bias for Conchar, great, but you're on meth if you think he should play more than Bain or even Grayson. His response was, why meth and not crack? So I guess that was race baiting. I guess that's what he was doing on that one.
He could be on crack if he wants to.
Hey, it's your drug of choice.
Whatever drug you want.
Hey, it's a free country, man. Don't let me, if you want to smoke crack, who am I to stop you, brother?
Well, I mean, the police may stop you, but I'm not. I'm
not the police.
Yeah. I'm not your policeman.
Yeah, but hey, I don't go by Peter. I go by the Peter. The bigger the Peter,
that's exactly right.
The better.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
Give solid.
Some players, exactly.
I stand firm under the Peter rating, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's very. A lot of people, and some people don't understand it, and some people think that certain players have, might be considered to have smaller, Peter ratings because that's, maybe that's part of the cultural thing or some kind of stereotypes. I just don't. I think it's ridiculous. Like, we don't do that stuff. That's not how
man.
It's just an eye test. That's all it is. It's strictly an eye test. Yep. Like you can see it. Is it there or is it not there? Just remember that.
It's tangible as well as technical. So yeah.
That's exactly right. It's tangible. And that's what it's
got to have some
about.
girth to it, man. It just can't be, running your mouth talking about what you're gonna do. You gotta have that Peter rating.
Yeah, no, there's some of those are, yeah. I don't know. Some of the stats are, sometimes it's thinner, and some there needs to be a little bit of thickness to that stat as well. It needs to stick around for a while. So just some good thoughts, some things to think about while you're out there. Now, as far as the efficiency levels are concerned. If you look at certain ratings, we'll have certain guys and certain things. In all seriousness, and not to say that I wasn't being serious before about the Peter rating, because I absolutely was. But in all seriousness, whatever sport you're in, whether you're talking football, NFL, college football, whether you're talking about basketball, whether you're talking about baseball, whatever it is, there is no one stat that should be used as the be-all, end-all for anybody. Okay? I'm going to pull my Hubie Brown. Okay. There's no one stat that should be used as the be-all, end-all. Okay? Okay, you got 10 guys. Okay? Okay.
Gasol.
Pal Gasol. Okay?
Shane Battier.
Okay. Bonzi Wells, who we have locked out of the building.
I thought about it the other day. The Grizzlies locked Bronson Wells out of the freaking building. What in the world did he do, man? Bro, I thought about that a couple of days ago. The Memphis Grizzlies locked Bronson Wells out of the building. You're too young.
It's incredible.
I'm extremely young. I'm not aware of that.
They literally locked him out.
That team got so crazy, bro.
For a playoff game, for Game 4.
That team got so crazy.
Yeah.
That season
was
just went
rough.
wild, bro. I forgot all about it until the other day.
They got paranoid. Fratello got paranoid. Hubie got super paranoid at the end.
We don't talk about how weird that Tyreek Evans situation was either when dude just left. He was just like AWOL.
Oh, yeah.
We don't talk about that at all.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
the Grizzlies just wouldn't trade him, even though they knew all they could get
didn't even know where he was.
Would you rather have nothing, or they didn't know where he was, and it's like, would you rather trade him for something or nothing?
Nothing.
We'll take nothing. Okay.
Like, when was the last time y'all seen Tyreek? I don't know. He's around.
He's probably around somewhere. We'll double check. So, in any event, that one stat alone does not tell the story. That's the deal. So, like, whether you PER, RPM, ORPM, PIPM, LeBron, Carmelo, these are all stats that I'm bringing. These are all like statistical, whatevers. There are plenty of them. Offensive RPM, defensive RPM, RAPM. There are a ton of them. A ton of metrics. The NBA math one that they use specifically, synergy stuff that they use specifically, cleaning the glasses, plus minuses, all those things are great, but they all have to be used as a menu of stuff. Like, you look at a player in multiple ways. So you look at what is their RPM, what's the if you want to throw PER in there, fine, like that can be part of it, but that's not the whole thing. And then look at their traditional statistics as well. Look at all that stuff and put it together. Like, there's no one size fits all stat for any sport. Just like like quarterback rating does not tell the full story about a quarterback. Completion percentage doesn't tell the full story. These other stuff, like they don't tell the full story. So it annoys me when guys come in. The old saying that I live by: a little learning is a dangerous thing. That's from my friend Alexander Pope, who said that back in the day.
A little Peter rating is a dangerous thing too.
It's exactly right. And the meaning behind that is a little learning is a dangerous thing does not mean like don't learn about stuff. It does. It means that, but you get a little bit of learning and you think you know a lot more than you actually do. Like, oh, I learned about PER. Oh, now I think I'm, Johnny Statistics over here. No. That's you got a little, like, I know just enough to get myself in trouble. That's all that is. Either the finish of that is drink deep or taste not the stream. Like, that's either you want to get into it, cool, like get into it, go crazy, or don't. But don't act like a little bit is going to make up and make you. Because it's just not going to work, especially with these one.
You know me, man. I hate when people like use a particular stat to push some weird narrative or some weird bias they have. And I get it, man. Like, I'll stay as surface level as I can with this. I understand the appeal of a guy like John Conchar. He's jitty. He's an underdog. We want to see John do well. When they sign Conchar, yes, it's a great signing. You're signing a guy who's probably closer to being a G League player or a 2A player than an actual NBA rotation guy, but you sign him to a contract, gives you time to take a look at him over the years for a guy that could turn into a great value contract. Because if John can be a guy that can come in and knock down shots, he's shooting a decent percentage, but he rarely shoots the ball.
There is a difference between a great value contract and a great value
right.
play. That's the difference. Let me stop you there for a second.
Right. He could be a Dr. Thunder.
Dr. Thunder level player, Sam's Choice
right,
type
a mountain
of guy.
mist type. He could be no, but seriously, like I get it, man, but like don't come at me with the weird bias stuff and then like try to make that as a reason why Conchar needs to, like, there's no validation for why he's on the court. Like because there's not a scenario if Melton's out, Grayson play more, Bane play more, Dylan play more, Kyle play more. Like bringing another guy in off the bench, I don't get it. It just seems like a waste of time. Because, I mean, John doesn't really he doesn't really provide anything or take anything away. He rarely shoots the ball, and he's just kind of out there. And he causes liabilities when he's out there on defensively to me. But, I mean, I get it. I mean, you got reasons why you like certain guys. I'll just keep it surface. But, man, come on. Stop trying to use stats to talk your mind and your eyes out of what you see. Like, let's be serious.
Well, yeah, and you have to like the whole point of the stats business is like to, you should. No, I don't know anyone who's legitimately in the NBA in a stat in an analytical environment or in some kind of a job like that who isn't also a fan of the game and who doesn't watch every game, who doesn't like get deep into it. Like they all do. People use that as like a crutch. Like the Shaqs of the world are like, oh, you don't watch the game. No, they watch the game. The stats people watch the game as much or more than anybody else. They're out there studying the film. They're getting after it. But there also are things that happen in a game. If you've ever tried to watch a basketball game from a coach's perspective and actually tried to keep up with the game as it's happening, it's hard to actually like watch the game from to watch what a guy is supposed to be doing. What's the assignment? Who's this guy? Is this guy? What's he doing? If you just watch one player at a time, you can kind of get a feel for it, but you can't watch one player at a time for all 10 players on the court. That's why you have to go back and watch over and over and over again. Well, you can't do that for every team every time. That's why some of these stats are important because they can help to cut through some of that work that you would otherwise have to do. But for your team and for the team that you watch and you pay attention to, you absolutely need to supplement whatever stat you want to look at with actually watching the game and actually seeing what happens. That's why there are some of us that have advocated for different box scores, for example. Like, I don't think the individual rebound is that great of a stat.
No, because nowadays in the NBA, teams kind of have a guy that's their designated rebound getter because they play such a spread out offense. Like
well, yeah, you see guards come in and get that rebound and grab it and go, which is fine, but like. The big that I mean, how many times did Steven Adams clear out for Russell Westbrook to allow him to get 3 or 4 extra rebounds a game or more? I mean, Steven Adams could have gotten those rebounds, but he cleared out so that Westbrook could grab it and go, not only just in service of Westbrook's triple-doubles, but also because that makes the offense go faster. That's part of it. Does that mean Adams is a worse rebounder than Russell Westbrook? Of course not. But that's the limit of that particular stat. A better stat would be how well does your team rebound as a percentage of chances when you're on the floor versus when you're not on the floor. That stat tells me your impact in actually improving the overall rebounding for your team. Team rebounding is what really matters rather than individual rebounding. Assists are a flawed stat because they rely on what? Whoever makes the shot. If they don't make the shot, then that great pass that you've made, and we've seen Ja Morant throw a million amazing passes that didn't get finished. Does that mean that should just fall into the well of history and never come out again? That pass should be forgotten? Of course not. There needs to be a stat that indicates, hey, I made a great pass and you sucked at finishing the shot. I put the ball right where it needed to be, and the only reason it didn't work out is because you messed up. That stat is important to me. Right. What are the chances that you actually – because that tells me what you're specifically doing. Stuff like that. If you actually had that as part of your box score, about how many times did you box out properly? How many times did you set a screen that led to a great opportunity?
Right.
Those are, if you kept up with those stats, deflections, you want to throw that in? Sure. If that's what it said on the box score rather than points, rebounds, assists, don't you think guys would play the game differently?
Right. And you look at things like I joked about Conchar, but something that he's great at doing is grabbing an offensive rebound and immediately making the best decision. Like he knows it might not best me to go back up. I might not need to put up a floater. I probably need to find the guy who can find the guy who can find the guy who's open. Like he knows how to – you know what I mean? He has a good sense of awareness as far as on the court. When he gets a rebound, he kind of knows what to do next with the ball. There are a lot of guys who get rebounds and they make the worst decision. Like I've seen, you can't really grade. There's not really a stat that shows basketball IQ. Like some of the things that Tillman does or Bane may do or Ja does as opposed to what Dillon does. Like we all look at, Dillon just takes bad shots. It's not just the only bad thing Dillon does. You know what I mean? Dillon makes a lot of bad decisions. Like when they were on a 2-on-1 break yesterday and Ja gave him the ball, the natural thing for Dillon was to dribble away from Ja and to get the defender to come to him, throw an easy lob pass to Ja as a dunk.
Yeah.
Dillon goes, Mabel Mamba, and we all saw the results of it. But those are things that you can't really measure on a stat sheet. So, yeah.
Well, and I'd like to find a way to measure those on a stat sheet. And some of the best like numbers out there and the best statistical models can come some way towards measuring some of that stuff. That's why you I like net rating. That's probably the best one of my the one that I like the most out of any just if I'm just going to look at one thing, that's probably the one I'll look at the most over a certain amount of time, because it does indicate at least kind of as a team how are you performing with this guy on the floor versus with this guy not on the floor. And I also like to look at net rating when guys are off the floor, and that's the so like if you see a team that just collapses when a dude is not playing, that's also an indicator of what that guy performs. Like maybe statistically it doesn't show up, but if you see the Grizzlies are like terrible with Xavier Tillman off the floor, then that's something that you should probably explore and look into. Be like, why is that? Is that just an anomaly, or is there like something he's providing that is not being picked up by the normal statistical models, like stuff like that? I don't know. I find the discussion around stats bothersome a lot for that reason, because it's like people just have the whole thing completely wrong, and some people use stats completely wrong. Like it's not. It's a combination of both things. Like the stats should tell you, like if there is an interesting stat that you see. Like, oh man, the Grizzlies are like right now. Ja Morant's like net rating plus minus is terrible. Like, well, let me go explore why that is. Does that mean Ja Morant's a terrible player? No, that's not what that means. That means something is happening badly when he's on the floor. Is that his fault or is that somebody else's fault? Figure why is that? Use that as a way to shine the light on your exploration rather than as a hammer to beat somebody down with. It doesn't work that way.
I got a sane rating as well. I don't know if I broke that one down to you.
Oh, okay. What's the sane rating?
It's a sorry A. Instincts and nuances.
Is that like low basketball IQ players have a high sane? A high sane rating means a player's trash.
Insane rating. Yeah, it means they're garbage.
What is it?
Sorry ass instincts and nuances. That's insane.
Diagnosing bad basketball players.
Yeah, let's put those.
Right.
We need to make those a thing, man. We need to come up with a package.
That's right.
Like some team needs to hire us. We need that Peter Insane rating.
That's okay.
Come on, Grizzlies, we're right here in your own backyard, man.
I know. You're really missing out.
You're hiring all these guys for shows and podcasts, man. Hire some in-house guys to can break down some ratings for you, man.
That's exactly right.
The Peter Insane rating.
Exactly. That's right.
Sorry ass instincts and nuances. Just trash.
Yeah. Dylan Brooks has a very high sane rating.
High sane rating. Yeah.
A big sane last night. It was a big sane rating from last night. All right. When we come back, a little NFL news, a little news from the college hardwood last night, including parties. Man, parties will get you. It's just what happens. And a party got a big game yesterday was canceled because of a bigger game party. We'll discuss that when we continue here. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
The voice of your Memphis Tigers, Dave Woloshin. The man with all the stats, Brett Norsworthy. Together, an unbeatable combo of entertaining and insightful sports talk. Wolo and Stats, 3 hours a day, every weekday from 3 to 6 on Sports 56.
The fun continues at Family Leisure with a brand new Factory Direct pool and patio sale. The new 2021 inventory is in. You got to get ready now and beat the rush. Become the first one to have your pool installed. They have spas in stock, and those are ready for installation right now, too. Complete your backyard with a new set of patio furniture, all state-of-the-art. Special financing available. Family Leisure, I-40 and Whidden Road, where family and fun come together.
I want to do some bragging rights. Hey, I was just the other day overhearing a conversation with Big Mike, the manager of DeSoto Auto Sales. They've got people buying cars all over the country. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas. People from all over the country buy cars at DeSoto Auto Sales in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Why? DeSoto Auto Sales has the most stringent car inspection in America. They get it right the first time. Quality and low mileage, factory warranty on most vehicles. My favorite part is the people who work there. Big Mike, all the employees are professional, friendly, and go that extra mile. Expect as you walk in the door, you're treated like family. DeSoto Auto Sales understands your time matters. We can help you find your dream car and get all the paperwork finished in less than an hour. Come see us at DeSoto Auto Sales and be part of our family. Have a great buying experience every time. 662-890-7184.
Is your bank standing in the way of you and your sportsbook? Try Action 24/7. We're cutting out the middleman. Deposit or withdrawal in cash. No more bank delays or failures. Action 24/7 has more than 100 partners in Tennessee for cash deposits and withdrawals. Visit action247.com for a location. Cash deposits and withdrawals from your Tennessee sportsbook. Action247.com. You got action.
Must be 21 or older and in Tennessee. For problem gambling support, call 800-889-9789.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
2021 is finally here. Might I suggest we start the wonderful new year with a makeover for your beautiful house. I'm Brian Elder. I'm a roofer. I fix roofs. Don't let them tell you that it has to be replaced when all it may need is some love. 867-0303. Let me love on your roof. I've made quite the reputation over the last decade as the guy to call after the insurance company denies the claim. Overturning a claim that has gone bad is an art form where you argue county code, manufacturer specs, and details of your policy that they have to abide by. So let me see it first. If I say it's a claim, it's a claim. 867-0303. Money is free at Brian Elder Roofing with 0% financing for half a decade. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you a quote right over the phone. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Sometimes I just forget, say things I might regret. It breaks my heart to to see you crying.
Oh, girl.
I don't wanna lose you.
Oh, yeah.
I could never make it.
I see you put it out there now.
Oh yeah, it's in the universe, man. That joint about to manifest. I'm still working on it. Should I go sorry ass instinct and nuances or sorry ass intellect and nuances? Because it's kind of an IQ thing. It's kind of a BBIQ.
I think instinct because I think the intellect brings up like an intelligence thing that you probably don't want to.
Yeah, instinct is what I'm gonna go.
So I think instinct is good. Like some guys just have bad instincts. It doesn't mean they're dumb or whatever. It just means they just some people just do the wrong thing. Like they naturally we've all known people that have just like if they make a decision, chances are it's the wrong one.
Yeah.
That's just them. Whatever it is.
Bro, we gotta make this a thing, bro. We gotta put some energy behind this. Like it's in the atmosphere, it's in the universe, bro. We gotta put some energy.
I'd always put energy behind my Peter rating. That's 100%.
Bro, I can see us like for real.
That's
Jalen and Jacoby, bro. Just come get us.
It's the new eye test right here, man. Let's go. Peter rating and the sane rating.
We gotta give some updates, man. We gotta give a top 10 sane and Peter and sane ratings. Because you can kind of put them together. It's kind of like you combine the Peter rating and the sane rating, and
the higher the Peter, the bigger the Peter, and the lower the sane. That's a big time. It's a big time player right there.
Bro.
All right. We talked about how you need to how everybody just needed to like calm down, just watch the Super Bowl and just try not to get stupid, right? That's all we wanted to do, right? Just watch the Super Bowl and just don't be dumb, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, oh boy, this weekend in Chapel Hill was tough. Chapel Hill, North Carolina. North Carolina beat Duke 91-87. Neither team's ranked. It's kind of a desperate fight, maybe even for an appearance in the NCAA tournament. Who knows? It's a unique year to say the least. And a lot of people were partying and having fun for the Super Bowl, but these guys were partying even before the Super Bowl because they just won the game. And as it turns out, that party cost North Carolina their game last night. North Carolina and Miami, the game was postponed because of that very party. And they showed that Day'Ron Sharpe, Armando Bacot were partying without masks on after the game on Saturday. And they said, well, and the ACC didn't clarify or didn't confirm that this was because of the party, but that's clearly what the situation was. Both schools met and mutually concluded that the game could not move forward today. I love the description of these things in the news stories. In the video, Sharpe and Bacot, who combined to score 27 points, are shown hanging out with multiple people in a room as music plays in the background. The most uncool way to describe a party that you could possibly imagine. This is why it's a miracle that we've gotten as much college sports in as we have this year because of stuff like this.
Yeah, when you talked about this story going into the commercial break, it took me back, and I'm going to put my Peter Evanston hat on. It took me back to Memphis football versus, was it SMU?
Somebody it's important to wear your Peter hat.
Your Peter hat.
It's very, very important.
Wear your mask and your Peter hat.
That's exactly
you
right.
You can't put down one to use the other one. So just use both. like Dr. Fauci and them said, if you're not married, you might want to use a mask and protection.
That's exactly right. That's very, very important. Very, very, very important.
Okay.
I don't even know what I'm talking about. No, it's back when you talked about we played somebody and like the kids were like wild. It was like way too many kids on top of each other, no masks, just buck wild. I was like, look at these uncircumcised Philistines amongst the crowd, doing all this stuff. And you went off, you were like, man, no, I'm not mad at the kids. They're doing what kids do. And here we are in a year from when, COVID was the thing, all approaching a year from when the NBA shut down on March 11th, which we all look as D-Day as far as the nation. It's funny how the NBA pretty much let the nation know that COVID is real. But here we are approaching it, man, and we're still going through the same stuff. And we shouldn't be. Like, a story about college kids getting together and partying shouldn't shake up sports news. You know what I mean? But they're kids, they're doing what kids do, but we let them down. The adults, the established adults let them down. So this is pretty much a non-story to me. Like I'm not mad at kids doing what kids do.
That's the thing. I mean, to me, I give college kids a lot of leeway on this stuff because they're college kids and they do dumb stuff because we all did dumb stuff when we were that age. This is what you do. And they have been given the leeway to do that dumb stuff by the universities. And you're asking these kids to go in a bubble for what? I mean, play the season, sure, but are you compensating them for that? I mean, you're putting them in harm's way by forcing them to do more travel and doing stuff that is not recommended. It's not recommended to get on flights, no matter how much you think it's okay. It's better not to right now. It just is. It's better not to do the kind of stuff that they're doing. It's better not to go to some random hotel in the middle of wherever and stay. It's better not to go into arenas with other people, even if the amount of people are limited. It's better not to do that stuff. And they're asking them to go and do that stuff, and they're asking them to have this season and play through it and have all the stress and everything else that goes along with it. And you expect them not to, let off some steam?
Yeah, exactly.
You expect them not to, be kids? Come on, man. Y'all are the one who put them in this position.
And by putting them in
just
position,
I can't believe all these kids on campus are running around.
Exactly.
What do you?
By putting them
they're on campus.
By putting them in position, it also includes putting them on campus. So yeah.
Exactly. So what do you think they're going to do? UNC beats Duke. Kids do not go and run around on Franklin Street after UNC beats. Are you? You think they're going to listen to you? No. When do college kids ever listen to grown-ups? I mean, and on top of that, the kids are more compliant with mask stuff than most of the grown-ups anyway. I mean, the grown-ups are the ones that have messed this whole thing up. Yeah. The so-called grown-ups out there. And they're the ones. I mean, when I see the ones that are, when I see the Karens of the world, and I see the I'm not going to be muzzled. It's not 20-year-olds.
And courtside Karen clearly wasn't a 20-year-old, 25-year-old.
Oh Lord, no.
As stated.
No. Oh. What about old steroid ass? that guy, that dude. And LeBron's like, I thought that was a father and daughter.
Yeah, much older father and daughter because she ain't 25.
Yes. No. So I just. It annoys me. I think that everyone's gonna be like, these kids. I can't believe. No, it's not. That's, yeah. I mean, they shouldn't have done that. But what do you expect them to do?
Yeah, I mean, they're.
It's just foolishness. If I leave my pizza, my daughter left a slice of pizza on the counter, and then walked around and went to go do something, and the dog jumped on the counter and ate the pizza. Mm-hmm. We've told her, don't leave your pizza on the counter, because the dog will jump up there and eat it. That's just what the dog does. We've asked the dog not to, but unfortunately, she's a dog and she'll do dog stuff. Kids are you could do I blame the dog for that? No, that's what dogs do. Come on, man. You could tell the dog not to. You could train the dog, but when push comes to shove, that's kind of how it's going to be. Same thing with this. You could tell the kids, hey, don't get together, don't congregate, don't celebrate this. But if you put them in a position where that's very readily available to them, they're going to do that. Just like if you leave a slice of pizza on the counter and the dog can jump up there, no matter how well you train that dog, odds are they're probably going to go get that pizza. And it's not really the dog's fault. You probably shouldn't have left that right there in easy access for that dog.
You got
take responsibility for your own stuff, people.
Because a dog gonna do what dogs do, man. Because you need a dog.
That's right.
Because they're a dog.
Be a dog. Be a dog. We don't need no meows out here. Meow, meow.
There's something else that dogs do is
be a dog.
If they're standing on one side of the street, they're gonna wait for the traffic to clear and cross it as if they know they're alive. Actually, which is strange.
Yeah, to some extent. I don't know.
As if they're aware.
Bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay. Death row definitely in the house, as some would say, when you're talking about dogs out there. It's just, and it's. Some people ask the question, why must I be like that? Why must I chase the cat? It's nothing but the dog in me. That's the other people would say that again. These are questions that people just ask, and
Yeah.
They're good answers for.
Because I play with my bone with your Jimmy, and I know you're known for making jokes about your Jimmy. Well,
Here's
a
a Jimmy joke about your mama
that you might not like.
You might not like it, though. you might not enjoy it. I'm going to go ahead and tell you anyway.
There are several rumors circulating about your mama.
Be a dog.
Be a dog.
No we don't need no cats. We need more dogs.
that soundbite just cracks me up every time. We don't need no meows. Oh man, all right.
Can we talk about Russell Wilson?
Well, if you want to talk about Russell Wilson, go for it.
I would love to talk about Russell Wilson right now.
Okay, we'll go for it.
You want to do it now?
Yeah.
All right. So, over the Super Bowl weekend, Russell Wilson, he won the Man of the Year award. And so, you know, they
the Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Yeah,
award.
let me be correct. The Walter Payton Man of the Year award. And so, obviously, when you win an award, you always got to have your lovely wife on the side of you accepting the award.
Certainly.
Which is none other than the Queen Sierra herself.
Or Ciara, as
Jim Nantz
Jimmy Nantz said.
Like the whole black delegation kind of perked up when he said that. It was like, wait, what? It's like Ciara. Like, okay.
Ciara.
And so we got another fascinating interaction with Sierra and Russ on Instagram.
So proud of you.
I love you. We couldn't do this without each other.
Not only the man of the year, but you're the man of the century.
Yeah, you're so silly.
To me, I love you.
You're the best. I love you more.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's
every
goals
good man
right
has
there.
Has a good wife.
I'm finna call Joy and just say everything he just said.
Why not us? Why not? Come on.
Yeah, why not us? Hold on, let me text her that, baby. Why not us?
Girl, you so silly.
Girl, you so silly.
Well, you know, guys, it's great to be the NFL Man of the Year. Of course, I'd love to be a great performer in the league. It's just fun for me to be a quarterback.
Oh, yes, yeah. What's up, girl? Yeah. Yeah.
That's
right, baby.
Most of the times, Peter, when
I love you. You love me.
Most of the time, Peter, when people, if my particular race and origin and culture have to code switch, so to speak, we're going from hood us to good us. Like Russell Wilson goes from like good us to super sexy us.
Yeah,
which is a totally different type of code.
Yeah, his code switching is on a different level than a lot of folks
he
out there.
He turns into a late night slow jam radio host.
He turns into Keith Sweat out here. And he's
we got some tunes for you, baby.
It's a quiet storm tonight, isn't it, Sierra? So just letting you know, baby. What's up, girl? Yeah, Oh, I got a phone call. Hang on. Hey, Roger Goodell, what's going on, buddy? How are you, pal? Let's go hit the links and swing it. What do you say? Yeah, sorry, girl. I had to take that. That's yeah.
There should be a prize. There should be a monetary reward for someone that can find a clip of Russell Wilson like in full black mode. Like that's what I want to hear. Like I want to hear hood Russell Wilson.
Man.
Where's that at?
I strive to be like Russ every day.
Oh yeah, he's goals for sure.
Strive to be like him.
The whole he's got a beautiful wife. He's one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL. Super Bowl champion. He's father of his own biological children as well as kids that Sierra had with Future. Like he's awesome dude, man. Like shout out.
He's a giver. He's a giver. He's a good dude. Absolutely. He's a tremendous guy. But he definitely is the king of the code switch. Is outrageous. With Russell Wilson, like I mean, if you get the Russell Wilson press conference, what you really need to do is to get his press when he talked about the award with mix that with the go back and forth between the two is and I don't know, man. Here's another thing that just as a side note here before we take our final time out. One thing that these couples and I mean really everyone now, but people that are putting all their business out there on Instagram and in YouTube and Twitter and all that stuff, like like showing like emotions. I don't like all these videos of people like having emotional. What happened to just like being having like a private moment with your wife as opposed to like putting it out there like, I love you, baby. You're the sun, moon, and stars. That's right. Oh, you're the best. No, Russ, I love you too. Oh, we're fantastic. Yes, we are. Okay, you know what? Just y'all. turn the camera off for that. Like, I get it. Y'all are in love and et cetera and all that stuff. You don't have to. Don't do this performative love business for me. Don't be all Kardashian on me. I get it.
Yeah. But I ain't mad at him though, man. If he want to be out there with his wife.
It's just I don't like. It's not like it's just him. Like it's like everybody. I mean, I feel like I'm in the minority on this particular issue. I just don't want to see like somebody's like, I bought my dad, who is at 85 years old. I bought him an old golf club that he used back in 1963 that he hasn't seen in 60 years, and it's a precious memory for him. And I'm going to film him while he looks at this and cries real tears, and I'm going to put it on the internet. I mean, why? Don't do that. That's not. I hate that stuff, man.
I agree with you. I think, especially when people do things out of generosity, like helping homeless people, like stop recording, like just stop.
Yeah,
I think that's
like I gave this guy $100, and look how happy he is. Well, I mean, now you're exploiting this guy. Like, of course he's happy. Like, I mean, come on, I hate that stuff.
Come on, Joe homeless
do good
guy.
deeds. Do good deeds without.
Yeah, I think all that's trash. But I will say this:
I hate
as far as like couples flexing and like showing off or showing their love for each other.
Mm-hmm.
As going back to being a black person, I like seeing those type of things because there's so many narratives that suggest that the black family doesn't exist or the black men don't do this and we don't raise our kids and all that. Mm-hmm. So when I see like the video that I sent you guys on Twitter of the guy who's got a beard on his kid's face, like it's supposed to be he got a fake beard put on his kid at the barbershop. I think it's hilarious, but I also think it's awesome that like my son. Because Gabe does that to me. He says, Dad, I want to be just like you. I want your beard. I want a beard just like Gabe says all the time he wish he had a beard. So when I saw that video, it kind of teared me up a little bit to see this dude put a full beard on a kid. You know what I mean? So that kind of stuff, I like to see those kind of type of things. But yeah.
No, I'm with you there. As far as being a good example, that's good. I just feel like, man, I don't know. It's just like I don't like those. That stuff is cool, but if you're doing it as a performance rather than just a. It's fine. It's fine to every now and then to show it on camera and stuff, but just there's a lot of that stuff that's out there. When we come back, hey, Zach, did you get that clip? You look like you found a clip.
Yeah. I was.
Okay, all right. Well, I want to hear that when we come back. I want to hear that. Hour number 3 of the program presented by Acura of Memphis. Online, AcuraMemphis.com. 385 and Ridgeway, home of that 2021 TLX, the finest sedan that Acura has ever made. The ultimate code switching when we continue. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1.
Spend your lunch with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 Middays.
Lunchy munchy.
Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
Hi, folks. Bob Burkheim for Sunrise Chevy. You know Sunrise has the best selection, price, and has financing for everyone, but did you know you can bring your vehicle to Sunrise's award-winning, state-of-the-art certified service department no matter where you bought it? Maintenance, engine, transmission, brakes, or tires, bring it to Sunrise. Need body work? Tell your insurance agent you want to bring it to Sunrise. We work on all makes and models from minor body to major collision. We've got you covered at Sunrise. Sales, service, body shop, and parts all under one roof. Schedule an appointment at sunrisememphis.com. 385 in Houston, Levy, and Collierville. Find new roads.
I almost never go to Central Barbecue without running into somebody I know.
That could be because you only eat at Central Barbecue.
It's because Central Barbecue is where Memphians go to get barbecue and has consistently been voted the most popular barbecue restaurant among locals.
Actually, that's really saying something.
I know. Memphis is the nation's capital of barbecue. With all the choices, people who live here go to Central Barbecue.
They do get their share of tourists.
Sure, because Central Barbecue has been mentioned on TV and in tons of national publications. You know why?
Because of the great food?
Because those TV shows and magazines look for the place where the locals go, and that, my friend, is Central Barbecue.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
Looking for a great place to deposit your money? Try First Bank. Competitive CD rates, a money market that moves with Wall Street prime and interest-bearing checking account options. Not to mention their friendly bankers who make decisions locally. To find out more, stop by one of First Bank's 3 local branches, 6482 Poplar Avenue, just east of International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase, and 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland, or visit firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Anthony works in the grocery store, saving his pennies for someday. Mama Leone left a note on the door. She said, son, head out to the country.
You can hear this on 107.5.
Heart attack, you ought to know by now.
Midday's coming up next. It'll be no Greg, Eli, and Gabe. And Zach, that means you're going to be on the ones and twos.
Man, holding triple duty today, huh?
Not that I know of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
okay. Somebody needs to talk to somebody. So if you're going to have a producer.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, maybe it'll be somebody else then. It'll be Eli and Gabe today on Sports 56 Middays. Looking forward to hearing what they've got to say about a very, very busy day. Now, Zach, you said we have the Russell Wilson. This very, very love hearing Russell Wilson switch. There's few that do it. There's few that do it like he's the GOAT. He's right up there near the top.
Okay, so it's the clip of his
reminiscent of that guy. Do you remember the guy? I always compare Russell Wilson to my man who was the news guy who had the bug in his mouth.
Oh yeah,
very 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 similar vibe.
Yeah,
very similar.
Man, get me out this country. Hey, bro, that's one of the best clips ever in life, bro.
one of the greatest clips I've ever seen.
I'm dying out here, this country ass, bro.
Oh well, it's big time.
Man, the question is, who exactly is responsible for Chris Wood's death? I'm dying in this country.
I'm dying in this country.
Man, get me out this country.
It's so good.
You can actually see the bug flying in his mouth.
Oh, you can. Oh, that's amazing.
Man.
All right, so let's hear the comparison here.
So this clip is of his news of the press conference when he signed his extension.
Courage to take me. You know, you guys took me. You decided to choose a guy 5'10" and some change.
5'11", come on.
Almost. Out of Virginia, where everybody told me I wouldn't do it.
All right. And so this is
now let's hear it, Russell.
Now this is the clip when he was in bed with when he signed when he
signed the extension.
When he signed the extension in bed.
Hey, Seattle. We got a deal.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
See y'all in the morning.
Nice.
Time for y'all to go to bed.
Same guy.
Same
guy. Same dude. Oh, there's no.
Bro, that's a funny thing. Bro, that's painfully funny.
You guys took me. I was just 5'10", 5'11". Okay, 5'11". All right, guys, that's funny. But anyway, I just love I love it.
That was the same night, though, huh? It was like the same day, right?
No, I mean, but he could have been. I mean,
okay. I thought he was talking about the extension in bed. My bad.
The extension.
He was talking about the extension in bed.
And then
Yeah,
the press conference
it was the bed was before it. Yeah, the other one was after.
It's a different extension, baby.
Oh my gosh, my jaw.
I've been taking the extends, baby.
Go Hawks.
What's the guy's name? Hold on, what's his name? The adult actor who's the spokesperson for Extends?
Ron Jeremy.
Yeah,
Ron Jeremy.
Yeah, but listen to Ron Jeremy, baby. I got that extension from the Hawks.
Okay, guys. Oh man, I just love Seattle. It's such a great town. We're having fun out here. Oh man, this is so good.
So
Yo, what's up, CC? Yeah, that's right, girl. Yeah, we're gonna.
Oh man.
That, right? And so just to be here and just to work through every moment, every obstacle. I thank God first. I think this organization.
Of course.
Hey, Seattle. We got a deal.
Go Hawks.
Oh man.
Man,
He's the
that's
best.
fun. How do you not like Russell Wilson? Bro? Like, good God. That dude's living the life, bro.
Oh, I mean, yeah. What's
Russell Wilson is like the
not
dude who well, I don't want to say that. I think I've already upset the church enough in the last 24 hours. But he's kind of like that dude who, like, he has his wife is super fine, but it's because she goes to church with him. You know what I mean? Like that.
or they know of her job, of what she work in, of her.
Yeah.
And then he brought her into the church, and
that's right.
Yeah, got a holy wife. Holy wife,
right.
holy life.
That's right.
Shout out to Russell
Which
Wilson.
I approve. Like, if you can do that.
That's the Zach method. Zach gonna have something bad on his side one of these days, man.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a church grooming you right now, baby. Yeah.
It's like, we had a wonderful day. We went, ate lunch and stuff. It's like, baby.
Better get that Zach attack.
What are we doing after?
Yeah, I don't eat meat, but
Hey, okay, guys, we're having fun at the church. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I don't eat meat, baby, but
Oh
man, Zach.
Like I said, coming up next, we got Middays with Eli and Gabe here in the Family Leisure Studios. Y'all have yourself a wonderful Russell Wilson-esque Tuesday.